along this route. There's also queuing traffic on the N1 North coming out of the Golden Highway towards the Diepkloof interchange.
And in your sport, the Proteas women thrash Ireland by 74 runs to win the ODI series with one game to go. In the third Ashes test, the Aussies have called up Khawaja. Steve Smith is out. Australia currently 183 for 4. Bafana got a 1-0 win over Ghana in a friendly. They leave for AFCON today. And SA Rugby's mourning the death of former women's Springbok captain Lusanda Dumke, who died yesterday aged 29.
A fine day in store for Gauteng, becoming cloudy later with scattered showers and thundershowers expected. Johannesburg starting at 15 degrees, peaking at 26. Pretoria 16 and 29. Vereeniging 16 and 27 degrees. The top story in EWN this hour. Gauteng police say they are in possession of footage showing 3 men involved in the murder of Warwick Stock, known as DJ Warris.
EWN, in touch, in tune and independent. For the latest, visit ewn.co.za or download the EWN app.
This is Breakfast with Bongani Bingwa
On 702.
Let's walk the talk.
5 minutes after 6 o'clock, it is a Wednesday. It's the 17th of December, the year of our Lord 2025. Welcome to the program. I mocked a little, I joked a little on social media yesterday. I was having a grand time with friends, and I put up a post and I said, do you think I'm going to be at work tomorrow? Do you think I'm going to be at work tomorrow? And some people said, we'll see. No, here I am still. A busy week. Busy week. So much going on. This tragic, unnecessary death of a 40-year-old shot multiple times in broad daylight yesterday in the Johannesburg CBD. This is somebody who's worked in broadcasting before as a DJ, as a radio presenter, but he's also been running a private security outfit. And one of the things that I understand he was involved in was trying to reclaim hijacked buildings. Obviously quite dangerous work. And so yesterday the news came out. DJ Warris, as he is popularly known as, was shot and killed in the CBD. It's a really awful story. In fact, on Monday, we were still on air when the first sort of messages came out that Rob Reiner had died. You'll know him, of course, from directing iconic movies like Misery. Probably his best known is A Few Good Men, directing Tom Cruise and Jack Nicholson. Fantastic movie. He was a very prominent Democratic Party fundraiser and supporter. And now it's understood it was his 32-year-old son, Nick, who killed Rob Reiner and his wife. It's unbelievable, isn't it?
This is Breakfast with Bongani Bingwa
On 702.
Let's walk the talk.
There are a couple of stories that bring us to our shout out this morning. Oh, by the way, I'm not alone, of course, as always. I've got a team with me. Producers Garabo Siamtanda and Bapelile behind the scenes putting the show together. KG here to start the clock and to find ARB songs. Have you found Boney M yet? Are you going to play Mary's Boy Child? He laughs. Amo Ramila is here. A very good morning to you, Amo.
Good morning, Bongs. Morning 702 Landers.
It's a very weird feeling, right? Because it's almost like it feels like a Monday,
Yeah.
but it doesn't feel like a Monday. It doesn't feel like a Wednesday either.
I was saying to my kids yesterday that I felt like I need to prepare for church because, it felt like a Saturday.
And
right?
today is Sunday.
And today's Sunday.
Yeah, it feels like being made to work on a Sunday, which is possibly why Mutero Haripe is not here. But in his stead, we welcome Ray White.
Good morning, Bongs. How are you?
I'm very well. I'm relaxed. 2 more days of work.
Oh, you're so lucky.
And then,
Out.
bye-bye. Then bye-bye. It's holiday.
You're
right?
so lucky.
So I'm feeling energized. I'm at that last stretch. So, when that last kick of energy comes back. But of course, we've also got some really serious news and stories to tell you about that have developed over the last few days, including, of course, the Gabinda inquiry. That's the one looking into the fitness to hold office of the South Gauteng Director of Public Prosecutions, Advocate Andrew Chauke. Extraordinary scenes on Monday in Pretoria. We'll bring you up to speed with that in case you missed it. But my shout out this morning is very simply this, and it's related to a number of the stories we're going to be telling you about today. As you prepare for Christmas, the trees are up, the decorations are up, Everybody's excited. There are those people that you really only see at this time of the year, be they friends, relatives, family members. And part of the reason you probably don't see them the rest of the year is that sometimes encounters with them bring about difficult conversations and tensions and emotions. So what's your plan? Do you have a strategy for how you are going to engage, particularly with the family members that you just don't see eye to eye with? Right? Those provocative members who are going to ask that triggering question, who might say that offhand comment. Do you have a plan? Or do you just walk in and what will be, what will be, what will be, will be? Or do you have a strategy of how you're going to deal with that aunt? How do you have difficult conversations with family members without letting your emotions take over? How do you take a firm stand against things that might be said that would offend you or that you don't like? And how do you do so without policing everyone and preaching to everyone and being superior and you know it all since you got your degree? If you know the movie, you know the movie. Right? How do you do that?
It's such a difficult situation. It really is.
So do you have a plan? Do you go there with a plan?
I do, because I avoid. I'd rather not have the conflict. There are people you know that you can't fix, that you can't do anything with. Maybe you need to be fixed yourself, but you can't. So I stay away. The polite conversation, I pick the relatives I like, and then the rest is sorry.
So you're at a family gathering. Those people are there. It's one thing to avoid them, to not go to their home or invite them to yours. But let's say a mutual family member has all of you under one roof. What do? You
always have that one person. No, let's all
and
get
they get
together.
seated next to you.
Yeah. And that difficult conversation comes out. And invariably, somebody has too much wine or something like that. And all of a sudden, the conversation flows and it's right there on the table.
And they say what they really think, don't they? Amo?
Oh, it's a very difficult one, and I'm very glad I don't have to deal with that this year around. There's no issues.
No big Christmas this year.
No, there is a big Christmas. There is always, but there's nothing hectic to address with anybody. Everyone is cool with each other. Everyone is talking. There was a time when, and I know they're not going to be happy with me for saying this on air, when my brother and sister weren't talking to each other. It was the toughest period of all our lives because none of us could address it. I mean, my extended
You the
family
middle child?
No, I'm the last. I'm the
That's
baby.
even worse.
Yeah.
Who are you to tell us?
You know, what do you know?
What do you know? I'm glad that situation has improved and got better. So send us a WhatsApp voice note, 072 702 1702. On our menu today, it is a Wednesday, believe it or not. So we do have an Africa report. A raft of changes are being considered for the Zambian constitution. And I always argue that it is a mark of a democracy strengthening itself if it can make those changes for better governance for a country. We'll speak to a Diamond TV correspondent, Justin Mulenga, about that. And then the Minister of Tourism joins us, Patricia de Lille. She'll be telling us about a new portal, particularly at OR Tambo Airport. So if you arrive in South Africa and you don't quite know what are the best places to go to, you can enter some information there, and Bob's your uncle, it will tell you. I want to know from her why I have to go to the airport to do that. Why can't I do it from my phone? Perhaps there's something I'm not getting quite right, but she'll be joining us for that. And I suppose it also raises the question, do you have a favorite destination in South Africa? And do you share your favorite destination, or would you rather keep it quiet so that we all, we don't all flock there and ruin it for you? Do you have a favorite destination in South Africa?
I do.
But you won't tell us?
No. Actually, no. Because
we'll all
it's so
flock
precious. No, it's so precious to me. It's a place where I go fishing. I love to go fishing. It's in the Southern Cape, but if I tell people, they will go there too.
To fish, and then there'll be no more fishing for you to do.
There will just be people with lines, and I hate that. There's line upon line, and you cast out and...
You lost me at fishing, buddy. It's fine. Lost me at fishing. Amo?
Oh, certainly has to be in Mpumalanga for me.
Yeah, there's some gorgeous places in Mpumalanga.
It's one of our best provinces in terms of holiday destinations. And yeah, there's just something about seeing the sun rise in the morning.
In Mpumalanga. right?
Yeah.
Place of the rising sun. You've got a favorite destination, do tell us. And I'm also keen if you're one of those with places you really, really adore, but you refuse to tell anyone because you just don't want it to be crowded.
You're with Bongani Bingwa.
7:02 weekday mornings, 6 to 9
14
a.m.
after 6. All right, let's bring you to speed in terms of what is unfolding, or at least what unfolded in Pretoria. I don't know how much of it you saw. It was later in the day. This is at the Gabinda inquiry, where they are investigating the fitness to hold office. Advocate Andrew Chauke, who of course is the Johannesburg Director of Public Prosecutions. You remember, of course, all of this started with the National Director of Public Prosecutions having, if you will, a series of complaints until the president then took actions 2 years after that complaint had been laid and this inquiry was set up. She's been under fierce cross-examination by Advocate Tembeka Ncukaitobi representing Advocate Chauke. And after days of fumbling questions, not being able to remember details, admitting statements and records and dockets she had not read, just a poor display. It almost became as if we were actually looking into an inquiry into the fitness to hold office of Shamila Batoyi herself, if you follow what I mean. And so on Monday afternoon, at some point, she just said, no, I'm not coming anymore. And easy. She said, I'm going to go get advice from legal counsel. Ncukaitobi, who's the advocate who was cross-examining her, at some point says, look, I'm not your legal counsel, but you do know the last time somebody walked out of inquiry, there was a consequence. Remember Jacob Zuma? But she walked out anyway. Didn't she? Have a listen.
We don't necessarily accept that Advocate Batoyi is entitled to return and continue with her evidence. We will submit in due course that a witness who refuses to answer further questions in the middle of a cross-examination and then abandons the inquiry without leave has waived their right to participate in that inquiry. But that is not for today. It is simply to record that we are not ad idem with the evidence leaders about Advocate Batoyi's entitlement to return. She did have options. Her option was not merely to leave if she was uncomfortable, either with a question asked by us or with a question asked by the panel. It happens quite often that a witness in the middle of cross-examination requests an opportunity to consult. And if on our side we are unreasonably withholding that opportunity, the panel is entitled to intervene and release the witness for consultation. But what has happened today has been the most extraordinary thing, where a witness has taken it upon herself to make those determinations. So there are consequences to that which we will address in due course.
This is, of course, Advocate Ncukaitobi responding to the departure of Shamila Batoyi, who at some point said, I will not be answering any more questions. And he says, well, that then surely means she has waived her right to participate in this inquiry. And she can't just decide when it is she might come back. It was really quite unbelievable because before all of this unfolds, there was an exchange between Advocate Batoyi and the chair of the inquiry, retired Judge Justice Bess Gabinda. Of course, as you will remember, she was a former Constitutional Court judge. I mean, she knows her stuff.
Chairperson, I will not be shouted at here. I'm trying really to help.
You have been totally disrespectful to everybody.
Well, I apologize then,
and
Chairperson.
We have been so patient with you, disrespecting almost everybody. And this has gone into the record. We've been so patient with you.
It's not the sense I get, but it's fine.
Well, the record will speak for itself.
Indeed.
It has spoken for itself. And today, you decided to be totally disrespectful to this hearing.
That was not my intention.
Not only to us, but to everybody here.
That was not my intention, Chairperson.
Well, everything has always been that not being your intention. But the fact speaks for itself. You've been disrespectful.
I apologize for that. It was not my intention.
Unbelievable, hey? This is the National Director of Public Prosecutions. What did you make of that?
Let's walk the talk.
702.
19 after 6. Ray White in for Mateo Jaripe. Ray, you've got a question of your own this morning.
Yes. What would you like for Christmas?
What would I like for Christmas? I've made it very clear. There's a pair of Adidas sneakers. They're pink with black stripes. And I have made everyone around me know that's what I want for Christmas. I'm not taking chances.
Oh, man, I haven't thought about it. Because usually I'm the one who gives out, presents or ask my kids or whatever. So honestly, I haven't thought about it. But a set of Lego would be nice.
You love your Lego.
I love my Lego.
You do.
I love my puzzles.
Okay.
Yeah, so that would be, I would appreciate that.
Shem, and you almost had a puzzle the other day, hey?
I almost had a rose building block puzzle when we had our secret Santa at Bongani's home.
Okay.
And
but we did those roving secret Santa presents.
Yes.
And it had moved twice.
No, and you didn't get it.
And then Amma lost it. She was very, very pained.
Why didn't you negotiate afterwards?
Because the other person wanted it too.
No, then they left immediately after their exchange. They left. There was no negotiating.
What did you end up getting?
You got a rope and a water bottle. Yeah.
Oh wow.
What do you want for Christmas, Ray?
I don't know. I actually have no idea. I don't know. I really just don't know. I haven't even thought about it. I'm like Amo. I give all the time. I'm just that guy. I don't think about what do I want for Christmas. But there's a reason why I'm asking that this morning.
No, this year I've made it very clear. This is what I want for Christmas. Whether I get it or not, different story altogether.
702.
Weather.
It's 21 after 6. This EWN weather brought to you by Samsung. Rain or sunshine, choose your temperature with Samsung air conditioners. It's a fine day in store for Gauteng. Scattered showers and thunder showers expected. Johannesburg peaks at 26 degrees, as does Vereeniging. Johann Pretoria is 29. Cape Town partly cloudy, a maximum of 23 degrees. That's the same story for East London. Durban peaks at 30. Gabinda 21.
This summer, at the break of day, the shoreline hums with promise. It feels lighter here, fresher, as if summer itself has been redefined. Now experience the power of Samsung air conditioners with up to 30% off this November. Make every day a cooler, smarter summer. Shop at Samsung stores, online, or speak to your authorized installer. T's and C's apply.
EWN Traffic.
22 minutes after 6 o'clock. Let's catch up on the roads. After the public holiday, I don't expect it to be too busy at this hour, Amo.
Well, not at all, Bongani. We've got a few delays, though, because of people are really moving around. Like on the Golden Highway, those roadworks are causing issues between Union Avenue and Colander Road. And there's also queuing traffic already on the N3 North, approaching the Baku interchange as you come out of Marlborough Drive. And there's also slow-moving traffic on the R80 in the city of Tshwane Mountain View, approaching the Eskempathlele exit, and that's due to peak time pressure there. So please approach with care. More updates coming up. Stay tuned.
There's more EWN on air, online, and on the EWN app. 702.
Add your voice.
Have your say.
Let's walk the talk.
Yeah, a lot of people, Bongan, they say cadre deployment going wrong. Shamila Batoy. You know, this is the arrogance that we get from our leaders. This is the arrogance they get everywhere, whether you complain about services. Well, this is the arrogance they get. They can explain themselves their way, or they can just ignore us and go on as nothing has happened. This is the ignorance of the ANC, actually, Bongan. This is how these people are. We call them leaders in this country. Case in Kachis.
Look, I don't know if Shamila Batoy is an ANC member. She certainly isn't there representing the party. But I get the point you're making, that this is the kind of thing many of us are familiar with. But to see it on display in this way, in front of a retired constitutional court judge, in a process she set in motion, is really quite extraordinary. It's been an unbelievable thing to witness. And yeah, I just wanted your thoughts on that.
Good day, Bongani. Good day, listeners. With regards to the Minister of Tourism, I just, if you could ask her to answer this question. In the media, well, not in the media, it's on their websites. USA, Canada, UK, our partners, China, has given travel warnings to their people coming to South Africa, and they list murder, robberies, kidnapping as one of the main reasons. I want to know from the minister, what engagements is the Department of Tourism doing? Are they engaging with other departments, or are they just taking it again as fake news? Thank you.
It's a very fair question. It also is particularly valid. A mother and a son have become the latest victims of a smash and grab incident on Cape Town's Into Highway. And it's a stretch of road that we've been increasingly hearing warnings about where motorists are attacked. It's one of those roads where they tell you, do not have any goods visible to passers-by. And these kinds of attacks seem to be on the rise. It's certainly worth a question, certainly worth putting as a question to the minister.
Start your day with Bongani Bingwa
on 702. Let's walk the talk.
My gosh, I mean, everything you need to know about today is almost full of violence. Marius van der Merwe, you remember him, witness D at the Madlanga Commission of Inquiry. Well, his funeral will take place today in Brakpan following his shooting outside his home 2 weeks ago. Police have described his death as cold-blooded. Van der Merwe's death came just a week or so after his explosive testimony at the commission in November. And this is where, of course, he made allegations that Ekurhuleni Metro Police Deputy Chief Julius Mkhwanazi had ordered him to dispose of the body of one Emmanuel Mbenze, who, he said, died because of a brutal interrogation, including tubing by police officers. All of this stuff illegal, and he was shot for his troubles. His funeral takes place today. Another life claimed by gun violence. The former 5FM presenter, Cliff Central personality, Warwick Stock is his official name, known as DJ Waras, was shot and killed yesterday afternoon in Joburg's Van Veilig Street. Reports are that he had a security outfit and was involved in dealing with hijacked buildings in the inner city. He was engaged about security challenges in South Africa. In fact, I want you to listen. I've got a clip where, before he was killed, he was talking about just the mess that is the Johannesburg CBD. This is now DJ Waras talking about his involvement in these hijacked buildings in the inner city in Johannesburg. In fact, I want you to listen to a conversation he had on one of the popular podcasts, Penuel Mlotshwa's The Black Pen, and they were talking about democracy unplugged.
This is the security cluster of our country, from intelligence all the way down to police. These are the people that are supposed to protect us, and there is an accusation that they are a cartel working with international drug smugglers and political killings, the taking out of whistleblowers, the Babitas of the world, God rest her soul, what a brave woman. If that's the accusation that's being leveled, it certainly isn't being treated with the seriousness that I think it deserves. And that tells me everything I need to know about Izophelela.
That is DJ Waras speaking on that podcast some months ago, and prophetic words it has turned out. The other tragic story, of course, is this director, Rob Reiner, and his wife, Michelle, who were reportedly killed by their own son, Nick, who has a history of drug addiction and mental health challenges and now faces 2 counts of first-degree murder with a special circumstance for multiple murders. I mean, it's an unbelievable story. This is a guy renowned for directing iconic films. This is Spinal Tap, Misery, A Few Good Men, and he leaves quite a legacy when it comes to cinema. What was unbelievable, even for him, was the response of the US President, Donald Trump. See, Rob Reiner is a big supporter of the Democrats, right? The other side, if you will, of the political aisle in America. Donald Trump went on his social media app and said that it was almost as if he was saying this is a good thing. I mean, he didn't say it like that, but he said that Rob Reiner had Trump derangement syndrome, And yeah, I mean, it was just, it was quite unbelievable how the US president spoke about this guy. In fact, he at a press conference was challenged by reporters to explain what exactly he meant and the unkind things that he said. This was the US President Donald Trump reflecting rather on Rob Reiner, the US President Donald Trump.
A number of Republicans have denounced your statement on Truth Social after the murder of Rob Reiner. Do you stand by that post?
Well, I wasn't a fan of his at all. He was a deranged person as far as Trump is concerned. He said he knew it was false. In fact, it's the exact opposite, that I was a friend of Russia, controlled by Russia. You know, it was the Russia hoax. He was one of the people behind it. I think he hurt himself in career-wise. He became like a deranged person, Trump derangement syndrome. So I was not a fan of Rob Reiner at all in any way, shape, or form. I thought he was very bad for our country. Yeah.
Can you? I mean, what do you do when someone you clearly dislike dies? Do you tell it like it is?
No, you don't do that. You can't. No, you don't do that. Unless it's a real evil person, that's something else. But
just because you don't like them?
No.
And from president. From a president of all people, it really is an unbelievable story. We'll get a little more detail, I think, in the Worldview with Adam Gilchrist.
EWN Business.
All right, Muteo Kharipa out for the day. Ray White in the chair. And Ray, you want to know what we want for Christmas? I told you I want those Adidas sneakers. I've showed you the picture. They look really, really cool. What prompts the question?
Well, this is the thing. Is it something special or is it just a job? And there's this big story that's got me thinking. Thousands of workers at the Mosul smelter in Mozambique just want jobs and a future, and it's been quite devastating. I mean, you're thinking about your Adidas sneakers. Amo, you're looking at Lego. These people just want their jobs. 22,000 jobs are at stake here. Australia's South 32 says it will place the Mosul aluminium smelter in Mozambique under care and maintenance by March, incurring a $60 million once-off cost after the company failed to secure a power deal with the government. Negotiations between the Perth-based firm and Mozambique's government and power suppliers have been going on for some time, or actually several years, to reach this agreement for the smelter's energy-intensive operations. Well, the parties have remained deadlocked on an appropriate electricity price, which was exacerbated by ongoing drought conditions affecting electricity supply from the HCB power supply system. Under the current supply deal, when primary power provider HCB is unable to meet all of Mosul's electricity requirements, they turn to Eskom, but they couldn't agree on a price. And now things are closing up early next year. 22,000 people look set to lose their jobs, including many South Africans involved in this whole thing. So, Bongani, not great for Christmas. I just want a job.
Not great news indeed. All right, let's talk about your indicators. I see oil jumping up.
This is the big thing. They've got this big Venezuela blockade by the US. Of course, oil, the price is now going up quite a bit. It is only $59.62. I say this because for most of this year, it's been in the mid-60s, but it is climbing also as well. So there's a bit of a problem there. The rand, though, to the dollar, we're standing our ground to 16.75. To the pound, it's 22.45. To the euro, 19.65. And then gold is $4,322.22. I'll have more business news for you in an hour.
Big story, of course, this morning, this awful murder. Svisa, good morning.
That's right, Bongani. Good morning. Police are searching for 3 people responsible for the murder of Warwick Stock, known as DJ Warras. Gunmen shot Warras yesterday near a building he had visited in the Johannesburg CBD. While speculation about his murder is rife, police have called on the public to allow them to conduct a thorough investigation. Police spokesperson Tinswalo Sibego.
Investigation is underway. No arrests have been made yet. Anyone with information that may assist with the investigation may contact Crime Stop line on 08600 10111.
Friends, family and loved ones will pay tribute to slain Madlanga Commission witness Marius van der Merwe during a memorial service today. Van der Merwe was shot outside his home in Brakpan earlier this month. During his testimony at the commission, he implicated suspended Ekurhuleni Metro top cop Julius Mkhwanazi in an alleged cover-up of the murder of a robbery suspect. Police have confirmed that 3 people of interest have been identified and 1 was taken in for questioning following the shooting. Brazil's Senate will begin debating a bill passed by the lower house of Congress that could slash the jail term of former President Jair Bolsonaro. This sparked nationwide protests over the weekend. 70-year-old Bolsonaro began serving a 27-year prison sentence last month after his conviction for a failed coup bid after his 2022 election loss. And following months of jockeying by his supporters in Congress for some sort of amnesty, the lower house last week approved the bill that would significantly reduce sentences for several crimes, including a coup. Under current rules, he is expected to serve about 8 years of his sentence in effective incarceration before being eligible for a looser regime under judicial supervision. And finally, it's been a busy festive season for Cape Town's tourism sector, with Table Mountain celebrating 33 million visitors. The milestone visitor yesterday was a tourist from Limpopo. Table Mountain Aerial Cableway Company says it's encouraging to see South Africans touring their own country. Camry Clark reports.
Cape Town is living up to its title as the world's best city for 2025. 83 ships have brought 127,000 passengers to the ports, and over 1 million passengers walk the terminals of Cape Town International, proving the city is a choice tourism destination. Spokesperson for the Aerial Cableway Company, Clement van Aswegen, says early indicators showed a boom in tourism as far back as September.
In the same month, the 12 Apostles Terrace on top of the mountain was recognized as Africa's best mice event venue in the World Mice Awards. So certainly many things to celebrate here at Table Mountain Cableway.
For domestic and international tourists alike, Cape Town remains a bucket list item. Camry Clark, Eyewitness News.
A fine day in store for Gauteng, becoming cloudy later with showers expected. The temperatures are at lows of 15 and 16 degrees, peaking at highs between 25 and 27.
And in the traffic, we've got delays on the N3 North between Marlborough Drive and the Baklu interchange. There's also queuing traffic on the M1 South between the Baklu turn-off and Marlborough Drive due to an accident.
The top story this hour, police are searching for 3 people responsible for the murder of DJ Waras.
There's a new way to experience all your favorites. Pulse Africa, the 24/7 fast channel, now live on primemediaplus.com and the Prime Media Plus app, bringing you the best of Prime Media around the clock. Watch the biggest moments from 7:02. It's non-stop entertainment and authentic African storytelling, all from Africa's leading media network. Pulse Africa, only on the primemediaplus.com and Prime Media Plus app.
This festive season, receive the gift of instant payment when you sell to We Buy Cars. Simply complete the form on webuycars.co.za for your offer. Then visit your nearest pod or branch, or have them come to you. Wishing for a new ride? Discover thousands of affordable vehicles online or at any We Buy Cars branch. We Buy Cars, the jolliest way to buy or sell.
It's amazing what help can do. Help can take you from smart money moves to smart gadgets and household must-haves. With an FNB Premier Credit or Fusion card, get up to 40% back in e-bucks on devices and appliances. Open any FNB Premier account today, celebrating 25 years of helping you live the Premier life. FNB, help changes everything. TC's earn rules apply while stocks last. FNB, a division of First Rand Bank Limited, an authorized financial services and credit provider.
This festive season, your budget may be tighter than your last gift wrapping paper, but OUTsurance could have some awesome savings or cash for you. Get a quote today, and if OUTsurance can't beat your car insurance premium, ask for 500 Rand cash. Make that 1,500 Rand cash if you've been claim-free with the same insurer for 3 years. Get savings or cash. SMS out to 45142. So that's out to 45142. OUTsurance is a licensed insurer and FSP. T's and C's online.
702.
WhatsApp Bongani on 072
702 1702.
Morning, Bongs.
This is not happening for the first time that a witness walks out of a commission of inquiry. Remember the Jacob Zuma saga when he left the Zondo Commission of Inquiry into state capture, and what happened? Subsequently, he got 15 months direct imprisonment. I wonder if Shamila Batoy's actions can be compared to Jacob Zuma's, and is this another 15 months waiting for her in the near future? Chamber in Pretoria. Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, this is what we're going to have to wait and see. And that's exactly what Advocate Nkaitobi was saying when he said to her, look, I may not be your counsel, but the last time somebody walked out of a commission, there were consequences. And he said, I will argue that they ought to be in this case as well. Right? That's what he said when she essentially decided she was no longer going to have any of it and walked out of the Commission of Inquiry. It really was an unbelievable situation. Yeah, this December, we thought we'd done it all by November. But this December is just doing everything.
Good morning, Bongos. It's Mali here. Bongos, I think most of us, we are just, how can I put it, liars, man. I would say we are not honest. So you know how you feel about a person while they're still alive. But the moment they pass away, you change your tune. Like you don't speak how you felt about that person. So it's just like pastors. Once you pass away, they will only say the good things. So that's what I love about Trump. Like, why are you lying now? Because this person is gone. Just tell it like it is. Tell us how you feel or you felt about this person. That's what I love about Trump. Thank you, Pongos.
Gosh, sometimes it's better not to say anything at all, right? Yeah. I mean, it would be one thing to say this person did bad things. I get that. But if it's just you didn't like them, keep quiet. Move on. You don't have, do you know what I mean? Yeah, but Trump is Trump. We've been here before.
EWN Sport.
Cindy Paluta, one of the things we are talking about is preparing for those hard conversations over the festive period. We're family, we're friends, and for a reason or another, there are people that perhaps, not that we don't like them, but how do you have those difficult conversations? Maybe these are people with views that are very, very opposed in a fundamental way to yours, but you can't avoid being with them at this time.
Mm-hmm.
Do you go with a plan? Do you go with a strategy in terms of where you'll be seated? Do you and say your husband have secret signals of when to leave? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. So I think around Christmas time, you will always find yourself surrounded by people you don't particularly like. They aren't your tribe, etc. You're forced to be together because it's family, and maybe you're in a large group, and everyone's there, right? So you can't avoid them. So the first thing I've taught myself this year is if I'm angry with someone or they really rub me up the wrong way or they've done something and I really, I want to tell them, I think to myself, what am I going to gain by telling them? But like if I send them this message, what is the outcome I'm looking for? And am I happy to not get the outcome I'm looking for?
Right.
In terms of a strategy, so that's the first thing you can always do. If you're probably not going to get anywhere by saying anything to them, so just be the bigger person, walk away, right? But there is a strategy. Like my husband and I do have certain people that we will say, please don't leave me with this person, or please don't leave me with that person for a particular reason. And it's got nothing to do with necessarily that they're not a nice person. It's that if I have to speak about Play-Doh and their 4-year-old one more time because the conversation doesn't change, or if I have to talk about their deep, dark past and be stuck there on Christmas Day, like in a trauma counseling session, come rescue me, those kind of things. But for yourself, you can't change how people are going to behave, but you know how they are going to behave. So therefore you can expect that. So why are you expecting them to be any different?
Than how they've always been? All right, I want to know, what's your strategy? you kind of just let things unfold? Or do you have a plan to deal with the racist auntie, with the homophobic uncle,
Oh my God.
with the one who's going to tell your daughter,
You've
they're
been eating.
ugly or
You've been
what-
eating.
Yeah. How do you deal with the people who say you don't hate them? They're generally okay people, but they are a problem. How to deal with them over Christmas?
Right. Proteas women beat Ireland by 74 runs in the second ODI to win the series with 1 game to go. Proteas posted their highest ever ODI total of 375 for 6. Captain Wolfhard with 124. Liss made 114. And they had Ireland all out for 301. Prendergast making 97. Here's Danae van Niekerk, who's come out of retirement for the series and smashed 88 from 46.
Yeah, it was just good fun. Again, I know my job here. It's quite clear with Mandla, and I've played the game for a long time, so just kind of back the time I've spent out there in my entire career.
The third and final ODI is this Friday at the Wanderers. Later today, the men need to beat India to level the T20 series. The fourth T20 is at 3:30. Live Test cricket, Australia elected to bat in the third Ashes. They're 194 for 5 at tea. Archer took 3 wickets for England so far. Australia's without Steve Smith, who's ill and has been replaced by Usman Khawaja. Khawaja was left out for the first 2 tests. He's just gone, caught for 82. Bafana beat Ghana 1-0 in a friendly. After a goalless first half, Sipho Mbole scored to wrap up their AFCON preparations. Coach Hugo Brosh.
As many times a game a few days before a big tournament is sometimes not the game you want to see. I'm happy with the result. It's also always better to go to Morocco with a victory than with a draw or, in the worst case, defeat. But I think that we can do much better than today.
The team leaves for Morocco tonight with their first game against Angola on Monday. In the Carabao Cup, Chelsea beat Cardiff 3-1 to book their semi-final spot. Garnacho scored 2 goals. Tonight, Manchester City host Brentford, Newcastle host Fulham. PSG and France forward Dembele has been named FIFA's Player of the Year. Meanwhile, PSG has been forced to pay striker Kylian Mbappe 60 million euros in unpaid salary and bonuses. Mbappe had been seeking 263 million. Imagine. I'm looking for 63 million, 263 million.
A young cool.
Oh no, I'm going to get 63. Oh, where's the other
okay,
200 million euros I'm missing? Right? Speaking of, that's generational wealth. And SA Rugby in mourning the death of former Springbok women's captain Lusanda Domke, who died yesterday after a battle with a rare gastric cancer. 29-year-old Domke played 33 tests and was SA Women's Rugby Player of the Year in 2022. She also captained the Bulls Daisies, leading them to the 3 Premier Division titles, including this year's championship. Cindy Paluta, Eyewitness News Sport.
It's the most wonderful time of the year.
You're finally taking your long-awaited break.
You're going to see your family.
And you're saying goodbye for now.
To your 9 to 5.
But you don't have to say goodbye to your favorite talk station.
Talk station.
This festive season, 702 will keep playing your favorite songs.
Having engaging conversations.
And keeping you entertained. So, make sure to sit back,
relax,
and walk the talk with us this festive season.
Download the Prime Media Plus app to make sure you don't miss a single conversation.
Happy holidays
from 702.
You could spend 10 minutes waiting for that video to download. Or get a 10-minute quote from Outsurance that could save you thousands on your car insurance. SMS out to 45142. Like 57-year-old Andy, who now pays only 1,083 Rand a month for his 2024 Ford Ranger. With Outsurance Comprehensive, you get 24/7 roadside assistance in case you break down, run out of petrol, lock your keys in the car, and more. Get used to getting more out. SMS out to 45142. After switching, 48-year-old Felicity now pays only 836 Rand a month for her 2020 Hyundai Tucson. Outsurance will either save you money on your car insurance or give you cash. That's right. If Outsurance can't beat what you're currently paying, ask them for 500 Rand. Make that 1,500 Rand if you've been claim-free and with the same insurer for 3 years. Savings or cash, you have nothing to lose. SMS out to 45142. That's out to 45142. Outsurance, licensed insurer and FSP. TCs and information online. Limits apply.
At Checkers, we do more so you get extra this Christmas. With festive savings like Sally Williams chocolate and nougat products. Buy any 2 and save 25%. And Lindt Lindor chocolate balls, 200 grams for $139.99. Plus, stand a chance to win your share of 7 million Rand in prizes. Simply buy any 3 qualifying products and swipe your extra savings card to enter. Valid until Sunday at Checkers, Checkers Hyper, or shop on 6060. T&Cs apply.
EWN Traffic.
Right, let's catch up with the Rose. It is still midweek. People are still going to work, even if not at school. Amo, how busy are things?
Bongani, not so busy, but we do have delays on the M1 South. This is between the Baklu interchange and Marlborough Drive. That's due to an accident today. Please try to avoid this one. And there's also queuing traffic on the N3 North between Marlborough Drive and the Baklu interchange. That's due to roadworks, and more roadworks are causing delays along the Golden Highway. This is between Union Avenue and Colander Road. Please approach with care. We'll have more updates coming up. Do stay tuned.
There's more EWN on air, online, and on the EWN app. 7:02.
Coming up at 7:15, the big interview.
Naked people are totally zen because naked people spend less time on insurance admin and more time meditating. Go to naked.insure now, get a car insurance quote in 90 seconds, and get naked. Naked Financial Technology is an authorized FSP.
This week, 702 was in conversation with Cell C, and they told us more about their recent JSE listing.
We certainly believe that our CapEx light model, we've pioneered a new network strategy, so we reckon that if you've got physical infrastructure, there's going to be some consolidation that takes place, and the model that we've gone after is a CapEx light model. So we've got a virtual radio access network. We buy excess and spare capacity from MTN and Vodacom in terms of great partnerships that we've got with them, and that gives us access to 28,000 radio base stations where we didn't have 5,500 of our own. We also have a platform for growth. We've got 4 engines. We think we'll do well in prepaid, new products and propositions, distribution channels on the back of a good quality network, postpaid business that we've acquired back now from CC, an enterprise business that's got lots of upside and opportunity off a very low base.
Cell C is now listed on the JSE. Switch to C. Switch to Cell C.
702.
WhatsApp Bongani on 072
702 1702.
Yes, morning Bongs, morning 702 team. Great conversations this morning. As I'm traveling with my family for our Christmas holiday, I was thinking about places in South Africa we all love to holiday, and normally it's the bush, Kruger Park or Pilanesberg or the Soutpansberg, even Addo, or it's the coast, of course, South Coast, Cape Town, Zinkwazi. But one of the underrated and most beautiful places is also the Drakensberg. You have to love the mountains. Big thanks for the show. Wishing everyone a great festive period. And thanks again for a great year. Mike from Midrand.
Mike from Midrand, thank you for that voice note. And by the way, thank you to everyone who diligently sends us voice notes every day, particularly those of you who do so in the first hour of the show, do so very early on. I know we've become much more of a voice note radio station than necessarily phone calls, because South Africans find that easier. And it's easy. You record a voice note, say what you got to say, and you move on versus waiting to be caller number 8, right? I get that. But we thank you. We appreciate those voice notes, that conversation, because without them, the show would be something entirely different, wouldn't it?
702.
The Africa Report.
Just to remind you, of course, no more whiz quiz until next year because, of course, the little ones are on holiday. So let's get straight to it. A raft of changes to Zambia's constitution is being considered, and one can argue that it can be an indication of a maturing democracy, the ability to amend a founding statement to make changes that bring about better governance for any country. So that's what's unfolding in Zambia, the country proposing a raft of changes to its constitution. To help us unpack what it means, and not just for Zambians, but perhaps for the region and democracy in Africa, we've invited Justin Mulenga, who is in Zambia. So there will be a slight delay between my questions and his answers, but nonetheless, he is joining us. Thank you so much for your time, and welcome to 702 Breakfast.
Thank you for having me, Bongani. Good morning.
All right, Justin, just give us a sense and context, perhaps. What exactly is being proposed? And if I understood it correctly, I think this has received more than 2/3 majority support in the parliament.
Well, that's correct. We have seen over 111 members of parliament voting yes for this particular bill to pass, to see a number of clauses within our constitution being amended or changed. And this happened not so long ago. As of 2 days ago, we did see this happening within the August House. here in Zambia. But to give you a brief context as to where it's coming from, well, the president at some point during Youth and Women's Day did announce that we are going to be amending the constitution. What is very interesting about all of this is that prior, the president, alongside other government ministers, did announce, specifically the Minister of Information and Media here, did say that this government has no intentions to amend the constitution, specifically looking at constitutional reforms. And thereafter, we did see the president sort of contradicting the sentiments of this very minister, and the president saying that what's going to come is a reform that will see more opportunity for women, more opportunity for the youth, and even the differently abled within the August House, the National Assembly here in Zambia. And fast forward to a couple of weeks back, we eventually did see the Ministry of Justice thereafter bring forward specific proposals. And these particular proposals, the government did say that they did have consultation with the young people, the women and the youth, the women and the differently abled here in Zambia, and that they all agreed that this is a direction that is going to be taken. But this particular process, many felt was flawed because there is a specific clause within our constitution that indicates how a constitution should be amended, and this process was not followed. And a number of civil society organizations did stand up and rise against this decision that this government had made. And really, the concern has been the process, not so much on what is within or the contents of the specific clauses. And it's very, very interesting, even as we talk about the Constitution passing second and third reading in Parliament, we're still seeing opposing, voices that feel that this particular process is not constitutional. In fact, our Constitutional Court did declare that the process is flawed and it's unconstitutional. So just to bring up to speed.
So hold on, Justin. What happens then if the Constitutional Court says the process that was followed is not constitutional? Does it go ahead again, or do they start all over?
They did start all over, and they did start conducting consultations. But for the mere fact that our National Assembly, the Parliament is going to be dissolved within the next few weeks, what the Constitution does provide for is that the Parliament needs to be dissolved 90 days before a general election. So due to that specific fact, what this government then did is just defer the bill that they brought before Parliament. But this particular bill was not withdrawn. But after that, we did see now the Ministry of Justice requesting the National Assembly here to bring this particular bill that was deferred back into the August House. And the Constitutional Court cannot preside over what is happening within the National Assembly because that is apparently not part of its jurisdiction. So due to these particular events, it did not or cannot go ahead and stop the proceedings within the National Assembly. Right. But we did see a number of people like the Law Association of Zambia petition this particular process, but their petition was, or their appealing rather, they did bring an application before the Constitutional Court to stop this process, but it was dismissed as of yesterday, unfortunately.
Right. Justin, I mean, what I'm seeing here in terms of the changes, the idea is to give even more at least to increase the number of political representatives. But also, why are we changing things like the definition of adult and child?
Well, it's for one specific reason, to ensure, that these particular individuals who are going to be vying for these positions are well above the specific age. But on top of that, to just ensure that these people are also Zambians. But this is a concern that did come up at some point. But I think our constitution is pretty clear how one can be able to stand to be a member of parliament, to stand to be a president, and then council chairperson, or a mayor. But with this this is where the question marks did come in, that why would the government want to have to change specific things of this nature or add specific things when this is not what the Zambian people want changed? There are those who are for, and there are those who are against as well. Those who are against, I was saying that they would rather the government focuses on specific things that are actually directly affecting the livelihoods of the Zambian people, like the cost of living, the fuel pump prices, the performance of the kwacha against major convertibles. But this really hasn't been the case. Many feel that, or some feel that, the government is imposing these sort of reforms, electoral reforms, not for the Zambian people, but for themselves, for them to be able to stay in parliament, or rather see a president hold this particular position for as long as he can. But the government insists that there's nothing sinister, or there's nothing strange about what is happening here.
Right. Yeah. We'll have to leave it there. Justin Mulenga talking to us from Zambia. He is a correspondent for a television channel in Zambia called Diamond TV. In many respects, some of these changes do feel like bees voting for honey.
702.
Coming up, the big interview.
The big interview focuses on South African tourism. Already an excellent question posed by 1702 Landa to the minister. With all these travel advisory warnings by a number of overseas countries, what is the plan to make sure that our visitors not only have a great time here in South Africa, but are safe? And of course, that's a question that would apply to us as South Africans as well. All of that to be discussed with Minister Patricia de Lille.
This is EWN.
Police are following on leads on the murder of DJ Waras, and some details into a deadly building collapse in KZN are expected to be revealed. Good morning, I'm Sfiso Zulu. Gauteng police say they are in possession of footage showing 3 men involved in the murder of Warwick Stock, known as DJ Waras. The 40-year-old was shot multiple times in broad daylight yesterday at a building in the Johannesburg CBD. DJ Waras, who previously worked as a radio presenter on YFM, 5FM and Gagasi FM, was allegedly involved in various businesses recently, including private security. Gauteng Acting Police Commissioner Fred Gekana says they are investigating the motive of the shooting.
The one who shot him is having dreadlocks on the head, and the one who was with him after he shot, it's somebody wearing something that replicates security uniform.
Public Works Minister Dean McPherson is today expected to release more information about the collapse of a temple building in KwaZulu-Natal. The 4-story structure in Redcliffe caved in last Friday, claiming 5 lives. The eThekwini municipality says preliminary reports indicate that the construction at the site was illegal because it had no approved building plans. Minister McPherson will release the outcomes of the preliminary investigation by the Council of the Built Environment. A mother and her son have become the latest victims of a smash-and-grab incident on Cape Town's N2 highway. They were targeted near the turnoff to Borchard's Quarry over the weekend after experiencing a flat tire. Mosrifa Kassan says her purse and her son's bag of clothes were stolen in the attack. Cambre Clark has more.
Masrufa Kassan recounted how the smash-and-grab incident that left her and her son traumatized took only 5 minutes. She says witnesses took to social media reporting that they had seen her son running along the N2. Kassan says she has always told her son to run away in the event of danger and not worry about her.
He didn't suffer any injuries, however it was very traumatic, especially for my son. He left the car and he started running in the yellow lane and sort of just started to flag people for help.
The incident is one of many serving as a stark reminder of the risk motorists face on the highway. Camray Clark, Eyewitness News.
And Israel has denied 6 members of Canada's parliament entry to the occupied West Bank. Jenny Kwan, an opposition lawmaker with Canada's New Democratic Party, says Ikra Khalid from Prime Minister Mark Carney's Liberal Party was pushed multiple times by an Israeli border officer during the incident. The MPs travelling from Jordan were on a trip sponsored by a charity group that Israel has accused of being a terrorist entity. The organisation has denied that claim. Kwan has told Canadian media that Israel had been told that they would be arriving in the West Bank, where Palestinians have lived under Israeli occupation for years.
I, for one, reject that notion that civil societies who's doing humanitarian work on the ground is a security threat. And I also reject the fact that members of parliament doing our work also poses somehow as a security threat.
Gold is trading at $4,324.69 an ounce. The rand is at 16.74 to the dollar, 22.45 to the pound, 19.65 to the euro. Brent crude oil is at $59.61 a barrel.
There's queuing traffic on the N3 north in the Bedfordview area. An accident reported right after Van Buren Road. Delays from the Geldenhuys interchange and travelling on the Mike 1 north. Some delays approaching Smith Street coming out of the double-decker section.
And in your sport, Bafana scraped a 1-0 win over Ghana in a friendly before leaving for AFCON tonight. Chelsea beat Cardiff 3-1. They've booked their spot in the Carabao Cup semi-final. Proteas women thrashed Ireland by 74 runs to win the ODI series with one game to go. Proteas men are taking on India this afternoon in the fourth T20. And Australia 212 for 5 after tea on day one of the third Ashes test.
A fine day in store for Gauteng, becoming cloudy later with scattered showers and thunder showers expected. Johannesburg is at a low of 15 degrees, peaking at 25. Pretoria 16 and 27. Vereeniging 16 as well, and a high of 26 degrees. The top story in EWN this hour. Gauteng police say they are in possession of footage showing 3 men involved in the murder of Warwick Stock, known as DJ Warwick.
EWN, in touch, in tune, and independent. For the latest, visit ewn.co.za or download the EWN app.
This is Breakfast with Bongani Bingwa
on 702.
Let's walk the talk.
Awful story if you've just woken up to it. Police say they are in possession of footage of 3 men involved in the murder of Warwick Stock, more popularly known as DJ Warris, who was shot multiple times in broad daylight in the Johannesburg CBD. The Minister of Arts and Culture, Gayton McKenzie, has expressed his devastation at the news.
I'm angry. I am devastated. I'm angry. I'm very sad. DJ Warris was a true patriot of South Africa. He was passionate about the future of this country, and we appreciated him. I spoke to him recently when I booked him for the G20 events of our department. We booked DJ Warris to come and entertain international guests. So I'm very sad, and I think the time has come that people need to be taught a lesson. I'm saying it without fear. He was very anti-hijacking of our buildings, illegal foreigners. And I'm waiting for the police minister to say to us what's the cause of his death.
Well, we know the cause of his death, but investigations continuing. Police, they're saying they have footage. You may remember, of course, we also told you of another awful story on Monday, that shooting in Bondi Beach in Australia. The Australian Prime Minister Anthony Albanese visiting Ahmed Al-Ahmed in hospital yesterday, calling the 43-year-old father of 2 the best of our country. This is the man who disarmed one of the gunmen in Sydney's deadliest attack in decades, really. And it was a very clearly anti-Semitic attack. But I suppose part of what will soften the blow as far as that is concerned was that it was a man of Muslim faith who disarmed the gunman and risked his own life to save even more lives that would otherwise have been killed.
Well, it was a great honour to meet Ahmed Al-Ahmed. He is a true Australian hero. He's very humble. He went through his thought processes as he saw the atrocities unfold. He had gone to Bondi with friends and relatives. He was trying to get a cup of coffee. Simple as that, and found himself at a moment where people were being shot in front of him. He decided to take action, and his bravery is an inspiration for all Australians. He is a very humble man. Tomorrow he will undergo further surgery. His mother and father are here visiting him from Syria, and I was able to meet them as well. They're very proud parents.
Unbelievable story, that. The other one, of course, that was just awful was the murder of Rob Reiner, the Hollywood director. and his wife Michelle, and it's understood, well, not understood, the main suspect in the case is their son Nick. And it's just an unbelievable story when you think about it. Rob Reiner directed famous Hollywood movies like A Few Good Men, for example. Michelle Obama, the former U.S. First Lady, revealed that she and former President Barack Obama had been scheduled to see Rob Reiner and Michelle on that very night that they were killed. What a thing, hey? You're planning to have someone for dinner, and that's, of course, part of why Trump would be so anti-Rob Reiner, because this was somebody who was friends with the Obamas, and they were set to see them that very evening. Not to be.
We've known them for many, many years, and we were supposed to be seeing them that night, last night, and we got the news. And let me just say this, unlike some people, Rob and Michelle Reiner are some of the most decent, courageous people you ever want to know. They're not deranged or crazed. What they have always been are passionate people in a time when there's not a lot of courage going on. They were the kind of people who were ready to put their actions behind what they cared about. And they cared about their family, and they cared about this country, and they cared about fairness and equity. And that is the truth. I do know them.
That, of course, was in part a response to Donald Trump saying that Rob Reiner was a deranged man. He had Trump deranged syndrome. I was asking earlier, how do you prepare for the difficult conversations that many of us are likely to have with our families and the people around us, especially at this time of the year? There are people perhaps you only see once a year. At a time like Christmas or holidays, right? How do you prepare for those difficult conversations? I'm going to play you this clip of Rob Reiner now and his son Nick. Again, let me give the context. Nick is the primary suspect in Rob Reiner's murder and his wife. So he's the primary suspect in the murder of his father and his mother. But this is a clip that goes back to 2016. And Rob and his son Nick clearly had a bond, and they were on a tour. And as they were speaking to this audience, they were promoting a movie. And in the audience where they're promoting this movie, Rob is asked this question. Have a listen.
Well, my feeling has always been that whether it's alcohol or drugs or gambling or sex, whatever the thing it is that you are doing to excess is usually based on self-medication, because there's some issues that you have that you're trying to ease the pain of. And so we certainly talk about it in those terms, and trying to understand why somebody is the way he is and why that person feels the need to make yourself feel better at some point or other. We do talk about it that way. I don't have any history in terms of, there's a string of alcoholics or a string of, drug abusers or anything like that.
String of problems, though.
No, definitely a string of problems. That's for sure. We definitely have our neuroses that gets passed from generation to generation, and we do talk about that stuff.
So the question which you don't hear in that conversation that I've just played was by a member of the audience who said that she had come from a heritage of alcohol and substance abuse. And so she asks Rob Reiner, how have you had those conversations with your son? And that's the answer that he gives in that response that you've just heard. How do you have those difficult conversations with family members, even your own children? Mental health, substance abuse. How do you have them? And isn't this season perhaps an opportune time?
This is Breakfast with Bongani Bingwa
on 702.
Let's walk the talk.
Told you a little earlier on, the funeral of Marius van der Merwe, known as Witness D at the Madlanga Commission of Inquiry, takes place today in Brakpan. You remember he was shot outside his home weeks after he had given testimony. The Gauteng Education MEC Matume Chelwane has reminded parents and guardians that the 2026 online admissions system is now open for those late applications for grade 1 and grade 8. So if you left it too late, that system is open for those late applications. And that window, of course, is for the parents who missed the main application period or whose applications were not completed. They've cautioned, though, that during this phase, the system will only show you schools that have spaces available, but you can apply today. U.S. President Donald Trump again taking aim at the Hollywood director Rob Reiner. You may remember, of course, he put on social media that Rob Reiner had been very bad for our country, and he linked his death to what he called Trump derangement syndrome, and there's been some backlash on that. And today, music history, Billboard crowned Adele as the top artist of the year for her smash album 21, naming it Album of the Year, powered by songs like Rolling in the Deep, Someone Like You. The album topped the charts in over 30 countries, becoming a world best-selling album for both 2011 and 2012.
Finally, I can see you crystal clear. Go ahead and sell me out and I'll lay your fish bare. See, I'll leave with every piece of you. Don't underestimate the things that I will do. There's a fire starting in my heart.
702. Up next,
The Big Interview.
EWN Traffic.
Well, up next, we speak to Minister Patricia de Lille, but let's just quickly catch up on the roads. Amo, what's happening on the N3?
An accident, Bongani. It happened right near Van Buren Road. Delays coming out of the Geldenes interchange. About a 15-minute hold up there. Please try to avoid the scene. You can still use the M2 East and then turning off at the R24 Albertina Sisulu Road while traveling out of Benoni. There's another accident scene on the N12. It's on the N12 West right near Atlas Road, causing delays from Snake Road and heading towards the city of Tshwane. Please look out for some delays on the R21 North approaching Namapius Drive due to roadworks. More updates coming up. Stay tuned.
There's more EWN on air, online, and on the EWN app. 702.
The Big Interview
with Bongani Bingwa.
16 after 7. Do you have a favorite getaway holiday destination in South Africa? And do you tell others about it? Or do you want it a best kept secret because you don't want us all to flock there? And when you have friends or visitors from elsewhere around the world, where do you recommend they go visit? What are the must-see sites they cannot miss? Well, for anyone now arriving at OR Tambo International Airport, there is the recently launched Smart Tourism Visitor Information Center. It's an interactive paperless hub offering real-time information on South Africa's diverse tourism culture and heritage across all 9 provinces. And to tell us about that and the tourism sector in general, we're joined now by Minister of Tourism, Minister Patricia de Lille. Always a pleasure to have you on the show. Thank you for your time.
Good morning, Bongani. It's a pleasure. And how are you?
I'm very well, thank you. I'm very well, Minister. I'm hoping you are too. Listen, let's start with this new information center at OR Tambo. What is it going to do that we haven't had before?
Well, first of all, at OR Tambo, we have launched the visitor center there, and it's made it so easy for people to see what to do when they come and visit our country. We've gone paperless. People can see the pictures live in front of them. The various provinces are updating it with new information on a daily basis. And we're really encouraging our visitors to visit all 9 provinces by showcasing them what is available, especially in the less visited provinces, so that, we can all share the benefits of tourism. So that has been going very well. We had many visitors, both local and international, going there. And we're working together with the airports company also to advertise and to showcase what is available in South Africa.
Minister, is there an online version of this information center, or at least what it can tell travelers? Can I access it on my phone? Why do I have to go all the way to the airport to access it?
No, you can access it through your phone. I must just get the details, but I know it is available. And, all the provinces, just last week, I had a meeting with all the MECs, and every single province have got applications. I know for Gauteng, there's an app where you can see, what to do, those people who are staying in Gauteng for the holidays. The same with the Western Cape. KZN has also got a beautiful app. So it's all available online.
So would all these apps not be better, placed under one general SA tourism application that would then have portals to the different provinces?
Now you're going into a field that's not my expertise, but I'm
no, it just feels to me, if I wanted to find out about South Africa, that's what I'd want. Because I might not know all the provinces to begin with.
Exactly, because you know what, we want people to carry South Africa in their pockets on their phone, and certainly SA Tourism does play a role, because SA Tourism, we always partner with the private sector establishments to make affordable deals available, especially for our domestic tourism. So yes, there is a process, and I know SAT by the first quarter next year, they will launch that app that's going to pull everything together at the press of a button where you can have access to information.
Yeah. Minister, one of the issues that has arisen are these travel advisory warnings. One of our listeners said, I must ask you this question. We've seen one now from the US, Canada, China, warning citizens about travel in South Africa. They've particularly marked Cape Town as an area of concern as you exit the Cape Town International Airport. This morning, of course, we're running a story about a mother and son who've become the latest victims of a smash and grab incident on that very N2 highway. How are you dealing with assuring not only international visitors, but South Africans themselves are safe when they travel around the country?
Bongani, of course, we regret the attack on any visitor, local or international. And we noted that Canada has updated their travel advisory. And, sometimes it is normal that embassies do that. But Cabinet has just endorsed the Tourism Growth Partnership Plan, which amongst the 5 pillars has got safety and security. I did have a conversation last week with Mayor Jordan Lewis about that stretch and, the 2 turn-offs as you come from the airport. And the city of Cape Town has stepped up. But, it's like you have to almost monitor every inch of that road coming from the airport. Even airport staff have been attacked, after 10 o'clock when they come back home. And so what we have done is that the Department of Tourism, we made available about 202 tourism monitors to the Border Management Authority, but they are being deployed at various ports of entry. Last week we deployed 40 at OR Tambo. So safety is a concern for all of us.
Why not talk to the Minister of Police or the National Commissioner and have more officers and visibility and patrols on that stretch of the highway?
I agree with you. We had in Johannesburg last week a tourism safety forum, and the composition of that include the police, the NPA, all the MECs, cities. And we do have a plan, especially for the festive season, when we expect an increase of visitors, because the mandate is first and foremost with the police, to keep all our own citizens and our visitors safe. And as you know, that the police themselves, we don't have specific police that look after tourists, and that's not what we want. We want a safe South Africa, because these travel advisories that goes out, tells us as South Africans that we have to do more about crime in our country that's even affecting local South Africans.
Sure. All I was saying is that there's a stretch of road that's been identified. Even foreign countries know where their nationals are likely to be attacked. Of course, I think the criminals don't care very much where you're from. They just want what's in your vehicle. And if that's the kind of thing that could affect our tourism numbers, it feels to me what makes sense would be making sure that there are additional patrols. But perhaps I fully appreciate, Minister, by the way, you're not the one who deploys police officers, but it feels to me that that's the kind of conversation we ought to be having. Let's move on to another matter. Where are we?
Can I just say that 2 years ago, we did engage with Google, to take the shortcut routes out of the routes coming from Cape Town Airport. But now we are back whereby it's, these attacks are on the highway as you get off the highway. But I agree with you 100%, Bongani, that, we're trying our best. We have got a plan, and we're also asking, tourism is everyone's business. And we are all responsible for creating a welcoming environment to our guests.
All right, Minister, let's move on. Where are we? I think the last time you and I spoke, it was about this. Where are we now on the SA Tourism Board matter and the suspended CEO?
Well, it's all work in progress. We have called for nominations for the new board. The nominations closed, I think, on the 5th of this. Yes, it did close on the 5th of December. We are now in the process of doing due diligence on the applications, and then early in the new year we will start processing that. The board, the interim board, is dealing with the matter of the CEO. And I have allowed them that space so that they can consider everything. The new chairperson of the board has really done wonders and has worked very hard with the other board members. I hope also that we will have a resolution on that very soon in the new year, Bongani.
The DA has filed for a PIA application. They've roped in, or at least the public protector is also being roped in. What's your response to those moves?
Well, it's certainly their right, to go to the public protector, to go for a PIA application. And my last information was that when the department received the PIA application, they had to go back and said, look, when you submit a PIA application, you must fully comply, including paying the fee for that. So I know it's under consideration by the Department of Tourism, the PIA application.
All right. I mean, I suppose one thing that could make it all easy is to make available all of the information that led to this, the record of decision, if you will. Why not simply provide that?
It's all before the courts currently as we speak. And there was an application, an urgent application by the dissolved board, and that was dismissed with cost, the urgency of the application. But the review is still pending before the courts, and papers have been filed, answering affidavits have been filed. So it is a matter that is before our courts now, Bongani.
But so the DA specifically wants that forensic report into the CEO. They want to know the legal advice that was relied upon to dissolve the board. And they want to know your comms between yourself and the board and management. And, of course, any comms from the Auditor General relating to some of these issues. Is that information you can give?
Bongani, you will recall that on the 2nd of September, I appeared before the Portfolio Committee of Parliament for 6 hours. And in front of the dissolve board that were also there, I shared a lot of information with the portfolio committee. And even afterwards, the portfolio committee came to a decision that they don't have the powers to instruct the minister to reinstate the board, and that we must follow other channels available. And that's where we are. These things are all are being investigated. It's before the court, like I said. And members of parliament ask me questions all the time. Right. And I respond to them. So they also have that avenue open to ask questions to the minister, which I always fully comply with.
Minister,
Bongani.
where will you be traveling to this holiday? Where's your favorite destination?
Unfortunately, not now. Only in next year I will be traveling. But, I'm not leaving our beautiful country. We've got the most beautiful country in the world.
Yeah, where are you spending Christmas, though?
No, a Christmas just with the family, you
Where?
know. I see at home in Cape Town.
I put you on the spot. Minister, I hope you have a fantastic holiday season. Let's hope
you, Bongani. Keep up the good work.
Yeah, let's hope sense will prevail and that we'll do our best to protect all citizens and residents and visitors of the country. Appreciate your time. Patricia de Lille there, the Minister of Tourism.
EWN Business.
All right, Ray White in for Muteo Hwaripe. Our platinum metals producers, it's looking pretty good for them for 2026. Ray?
That's right. This is a good news story. Ratings agency S&P Global has given Valterra Platinum the thumbs up, saying it expects a healthy balance sheet and steady earnings growth as well. It says this growth is expected to continue into 2027. S&P Global predicts EBITDA, that's before tax and depreciation, of between 30 and 33 billion rand. This year's uptick in the platinum sector has been largely due to better prices, with platinum and gold soaring. The World Bank expects platinum to gain a full 29% this year, with further gains next year. Good news.
Very good news indeed, but bad news on the other front. Thousands of jobs set to be lost at the Mosul smelter, and although it's in Mozambique, it's a story to do with Eskom, really.
That's right. Miner South 32 looks set to put its Mozambican smelter on care and maintenance after failing to secure a power deal. This could cost up to 22,000 jobs, including those of South Africans. Mosul is the largest industrial employer in Mozambique and contributes a large section of the country's GDP. The Cahora Bassa power scheme, you see, normally provides electricity to the scheme, but there's been a drought there, and then negotiations then turned to Eskom. But the price was too high, and they said no thanks. So we have a jobs crisis now in Mozambique.
Gosh, where's the rand?
The rand at the moment, 16.76. That's to the dollar. The pound is 22.45. Euro 19.66. Gold $4,331.95. I'll have more business news for you in about an hour.
Straight to the news desk we go. Sfiso Zulu. Gauteng police, what are they saying about DJ Warris at this stage?
Well, Bongani, they say they are yet to confirm a motive for the killing of the DJ, despite confirmation of footage showing his murder. 3 suspects are wanted by police for shooting the DJ, whose real name was Warwick Stock, in the Joburg CBD yesterday. He had apparently been meeting with the owner of a hijacked building not too long before he was killed. Stock owned a security company and was reportedly involved in attempts to reclaim hijacked properties in the city centre. While speculation about his murder is rife, police have called on the public to allow them to conduct a thorough investigation. Police spokesperson Dintswalo Sibego.
Investigation is underway. No arrests have been made yet. Anyone with information that may assist with the investigation may contact Crime Stop line on 08600 10111.
Friends, family and loved ones will pay tribute to slain Madlanga Commission witness Marius van der Merwe during a memorial service today. Van der Merwe was shot outside his home in Brakpan earlier this month. During his testimony at the commission, he implicated suspended Ekurhuleni Metro top cop Julius Mkhwanazi in an alleged cover-up of the murder of a robbery suspect. Police have confirmed that 3 people of interest have been identified and 1 was taken in for questioning following the shooting. President Cyril Ramaphosa says democracy wouldn't be possible in the country without reconciliation. Ramaphosa yesterday delivered the keynote address of the Reconciliation Day commemoration event in Ingutu, northern KZN. The gathering happened at the Ngome Museum, where the Blood River War between the Zulu Nation and the Afrikaners happened in 1838. Ramaphosa says South Africans bear scars of centuries of dispossession and oppression.
We recall the Battle of Ngome, the Bambata Rebellion, the Bullhook Massacre, the 1946 mine workers' strike, Sharpeville, Langa, Cato Manor, the Trojan Horse Massacre, Sebokeng, Boipatong.
And the M23 armed group says it will withdraw from the key city of Uvira in the Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo at the request of Washington, which vowed action over clear violation of a U.S.-brokered peace accord. The Rwanda-backed militia seized the strategic city near the border with Burundi last Wednesday. It happened days after the Congolese and Rwandan governments signed the peace deal in Washington, an agreement U.S. President Donald Trump had hailed as a great miracle. The M23's advance has thrown the future of the peace process into doubt and raised fears of a wider regional war. At least 85,000 refugees have fled into Burundi since the advance, with the number rising daily. A fine day in store for Gauteng, becoming cloudy later with showers expected. The temperatures are at lows of 15 and 16 degrees, peaking at highs between 25 and 27.
There's heavy delays on the M1 North. This is between the Crown Interchange and Carr Street. A major accident reported right at the double-decker section. And there's another one on the N3 North in the Bedfordview area. It's right near the Kilulis Interchange, causing delays coming out of the Yelans turn off.
The top story this hour, Gauteng police are yet to confirm a motive for the killing of DJ Warras.
Some moments only come around once, like the Audi year-end sale. Get the Audi A1 from $6,999 per month with no deposit, a 90-day payment break, so you only start paying next year. Plus, a guaranteed buyback. There's limited time to show up, but unlimited time to stand out in the Audi A1. Visit audi.co.za or your nearest Audi dealer before the 24th of December. T's and C's apply.
Now, what are you serving at your Christmas table? Will it be complete without Forage and Feast limited edition Beechwood smoked sliced gammon from Checkers? Checkers does more, so you get to extra indulge this festive season. So bring a touch of tradition and warmth to festive meals with Forage and Feast limited edition Beechwood smoked sliced gammon. We had it with the team just the other day. It was absolutely fantastic, succulent, and it's slightly smoked, this gammon, and there's that caramelized top as well. It is absolutely fantastic, all pre-cooked and sliced, ready for you to serve. Trust me, you'll thank me later. It comes in a vacuumed, sealed package for you to just warm up, and as I say, it'll be ready in minutes. It's just prep, serve, and look pretty and enjoy. Get the Forage and Feast limited edition Beechwood smoked sliced gammon at your nearest Checkers, Checkers Hyper or Checkers Food Store, or get it delivered to your door in 60 minutes with 60/60. Checkers does more, so you can get that extra this Christmas. Checkers, making sure your Christmas is better and better.
Happy holidays
From 702.
Let's walk the talk.
Hey guys, this is Robert Marawa, Hollywood Bet's brand ambassador. Playing responsibly is part of the winning strategy. Make smart choices and continue to score. If you or someone that you know needs help, call the South African Responsible Gambling Toll-Free Counseling Line on 0800 006 008 or WhatsApp help to 076 675 0710. Hollywood Sportsbook is a licensed betting operator. Hollywood Bet supports responsible gambling. No persons under the age of 18 years are permitted to gamble. Winners know when to stop.
The Money Show.
Weekday evenings at 6.
Some news from our wine industry. It looks like they've had good conditions over the period. They're expecting a strong harvest this year. Wandile Sekhlobos, Chief Economist at the Agricultural Business Chamber of South Africa.
Taste and quality, Stephen, when it comes to wine matters. And this time around, because we had these intense heat and nice rains at an appropriate time, it turns out that the maturation of the grapes have actually been excellent and the volume of cores has been good.
The Money Show
on 702. 702. Let's walk the talk.
The Money Show with Stephen Khuritis is brought to you by ABSA CIB, accelerating infrastructure-led growth and economic resilience through the South African National Treasury's 11.8 billion rand infrastructure and development finance bond. ABSA is an authorized FSP and registered credit provider.
702
WhatsApp Bongani on 072
702 1702.
Hi, Bongs. It's Tumi here from Rodiport. You know what I want for Christmas? It's a pap maker machine. I don't know whether they call it a pot, but I remember the guy was there in 702. Can somebody, get me a pap maker machine? Anywhere in South Africa, I'll go and collect it. That's my present for Christmas. Please, thanks.
It was Nedbank Business Ignite on 702. I'll never forget the guy. I think his name was Gordon. He is of Chinese descent. And he still has the accent, so he hasn't been in South Africa for very long. And I suspect it's one of those where he was from an immigrant family and his domestic must have cooked lots of pap for him. He's now an engineer, Cindy, and he says, I kept burning the stuff. He said every time he tried to make pap, he kept burning it. And he thought, no, man, I'm Chinese, there must be a solution to this. So he invented a pap maker. It's called Appetite SA. It makes pap, it makes porridge. I think you can make rice with it. It makes soft porridge as well as, the hard pap. It can make uputu. What is putu? It's the more refined pap, the one you have with sour milk.
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah.
there's no English for it, is there?
Mm-hmm.
It can make it makes all kinds of pap. So, my friend, you're looking for something called Appetite SA. And I remember thinking that was the thing that I would have voted for to win. They were a finalist. I'm just a talk show host. What do I know?
Morning, 702. Captain Park. I've got two positive things to say today. It was we've got managed to have water at Ekurhuleni after about 3.5 days. The second best thing is it's a breeze to drive to work today. I think we can have this. I hope we can have this every day. Well, I know that's not possible, but enjoy. Have a lovely Wednesday. Quinton, Kempton Park.
Quinton in Kempton Park. Can we tell you the funniest story? Or at least something I hadn't thought of. So remember I was moaning on Monday about not having water and electricity. Didn't have power for an entire week, Cindy. It only came back last night. But what then happened was we were getting these notifications from City Power saying it had been restored. But I was like, no, it hasn't been restored in my house. And it had been restored in parts of the area, but not for everyone, because there's different lines that feed different properties. So, of course, I was now in conversations with officials from City Power. And then I was floored when she sent me a picture, the official, this was now on Monday afternoon, saying they'd gone to buy the transformer. And she sent me a picture. You think there's maybe like a big warehouse where City Power keeps these things. She's like, no, they're at the shops buying your transformer.
But which shops and what kind of transformer? And in future, can we just not do it ourselves? Totally legal, but yeah.
I thought, what? There they were at a shop buying the transformer, and then it was all work yesterday. They put it. By the time I went to bed last night, which would have been about 7:30ish or whatever, the power is still not back, but it was this morning. So I'm finally happy to report that not only do I have power, I even have water. Amazing, isn't it?
You've won the lotto. You've won the South African lotto in life.
Amazing.
You've got power.
EWN Sport.
It's holiday season, so no, what's the question? I know people have been sending us answers based on something they heard on the show. We'll pick up on all of that next year once again. All right, it's a week to go before the first AFCON match. Am I right?
Well, it's less than a week to go before Bafana plays their first AFCON match. They're playing Angola on Monday. Last night they beat Ghana 1-0 in a friendly played at Dobsonville Stadium. Sipho Mbole with the goal in the second half. Coach Hugo Bros feels his players didn't play at their best.
Maybe the tournament of next week played already in the heads of the players. I don't want to be injured today. I'm not worried. I know that there are a few important players are coming with us on Thursday, and we still have 4 days to do the finishing touch. And I'm sure that we will be ready next Monday to play against Angola.
So just to explain, Cindy gives me a script so that I know exactly what stories she's going to be talking about. And I was looking at your script going, they're going to play AFCON during Christmas.
Yeah, boy.
Wow.
Yes, they are. They are. And I'm grateful because it gives me something to run between now and New Year.
Right, during the holidays,
so I don't have to scrape bulletins together. The team leaves for Morocco tonight. In the Carabao Cup, Chelsea beat Cardiff 3-1 to book their semi-final spot. Garnacho with 2 goals there. Tonight, Manchester City host Brentford. Newcastle are hosting Fulham. PSG's Dembele has been named FIFA's Player of the Year. At the same time, PSG's been ordered to pay Kylian Mbappe 60 million euros in unpaid salaries and bonuses. Proteas women beat Ireland by 74 runs in the second ODI, winning the series with 1 game to spare. Proteas posted 375 for 6. That's their highest ever ODI total. Captain Wolfart made 124. Liss made 114. Danae van Niekerk smashed 88 from 46. They then had Ireland all out for 301 despite a valiant 97 from Prendergast. Van Niekerk says they're getting closer to that 400 mark.
Look, it's always nice to clinch the series with a game to go. I think the batting was fantastic. We speak about pushing that 400 mark all the time, and I think 370 odd on a wicket like that, a bit slower. It's not the high felt, so I think that's a box tick close to 400. Obviously very proud of our skipper. She's been leading the way with the runs, and Sinead has been in incredible form as well, not just with the bat but with the ball and in the field.
The third and final ODI is this Friday at the Wanderers. So if you're wondering, the men are in action today. They're playing India in the 4th T20, needing a win to avoid a series defeat. Anrich Nokia is back from injury and hoping to secure his spot in the T20 team ahead of next year's World Cup.
Trying to be as basic as possible, let the moment play out, assess sort of on the park what to do. But it's to sort of be aware on the park. I can only speak for the white ball team, but it just from the outside it just looks like guys are gelling really well, getting along very well, and everyone sort of knows their role in the team. And I think that's very important. There's a lot of competition as well, which creates opportunity.
That game starts at 3:30. Day 1 of the third Ashes Test. Australia now 271 for 7 at Drinks. They elected to bat. Archer with 3 wickets for England so far. Khawaja made 82. He was a last-minute call-up to replace Steve Smith, who fell sick. Carey is there on 85. And former Springbok women's captain Lusanda Dumke has died after a battle with a rare gastric cancer. 29-year-old Dumke played 33 tests and was SA Women's Rugby Player of the Year in 2022. Cindy Paluta, Eyewitness News Sport.
Clement Maniatella.
Weekday mornings,
9 to 12.
9 to 12.
You disappeared at some point, like you took a break. I don't know what to call it. What was happening at the time and what made you decide to pause a little bit?
There was so much. I think a lot of people don't realize how much pressure an artist can be in. I remember I was at a gig where, it felt like every other gig we had done, same kind of vibe. It's like the little Notende, the artist who was writing songs and dancing. She said, so is this all you're going to do? You're just going to keep doing the same thing over and over again when you know that there's so much more to you.
Because a true artist
as an
will
artist
be frustrated by that.
You see?
Notende Madumo.
Clement Maniatella.
9 to 12 on 702.
This season, American Swiss is serving up a festive feast of gifting with unbeatable deals to help you spoil someone special or yourself. Think watches at up to 50% off, including Tempo, MX, and international brands. Diamonds are up to 50% off, and get gold and silver jewelry that make a statement. That's up to 30% off. There's something for everyone at the table. When you discover gifts worth celebrating at American Swiss, your festive giving destination.
Business Outsurance are experts in business insurance for pharmacies, convenience stores, beauty salons, and more. Corney?
Business Outsurance is definitely the best insurance for my business. Sold out every other insurance house. Honestly, looking at what you need, my installment came down within a day. Definitely the most professional.
Switch to Business Outsurance and you could get a massive 20% discount on your business insurance premium. Visit outsurance.co.za. Switch and save today. Licensed insurer and FSP. TCs and information online.
Hi, this is Carol Shabalala, Hollywood Bets brand ambassador. It's more fun when it's for fun. Playing responsibly is always a winning strategy. If you or someone you know needs help, call the South African Responsible Gambling toll-free counseling line on 0800 006 008 or WhatsApp help to 076 675 0710. Hollywood Sportsbook is a licensed betting operator. Hollywood Bet supports responsible gambling. No persons under the age of 18 years are permitted to gamble. Winners know when to stop.
EWN Traffic.
It's 12 minutes to 8. Let's catch up with the traffic. How are we looking, Amo?
Well, Bongani, we've got an accident on the Magwan North approaching Car Street. It's causing heavy delays from Boyson's Road. Please be on the lookout there, about a 15-minute hold-up. There's also queuing traffic along the M2 West between the Crown Interchange and Main Reef Road, while traveling on the N3 North bumper-to-bumper traffic between the Elands Interchange and Van Buren Road. That major accident seen after Van Buren is causing these delays. Please try to use alternative routes towards Bedfordview. You can even use the N12 as well as the M2 east towards the Bedfordview area. While traveling out of Benoni, we've got another accident seen on the N12 West. It's right near Atlas Road. It's causing heavy traffic volumes coming out of Snake Road. And in the city of Tshwane, another accident seen on the N1 South. This is right after the Proof Plus interchange delays coming out of Sefako Makato exit. Please try to avoid that one. You can still use the N14 South towards areas like Centurion. Otherwise, if you do see anything else on the roads, we're on X at EWN Traffic.
There's more EWN on air, online, and on the EWN app.
Selling your car? Don't change your festive plans. We Buy Cars will come to you and handle it in a flash. Simply complete the form on webuycars.co.za to get your offer. Gifting yourself a new ride? Visit We Buy Cars online or at any branch to find the car on your wish list. We Buy Cars, the easiest way to buy or sell your car.
Meet McDonald. He is the self-proclaimed king of homegrown veggies. You see, McDonald believes as long as he sprinkles the seeds, the veggies will grow. He even promised beetroot and carrots to the entire neighborhood. Now, abantu bazotini, when the neighbors are asking for their share, but not a single veggie has grown. Ah, booty, avoid the embarrassment. Make smarter decisions for your home. Visit Cash Build for quality gardening tools and seeds at the lowest prices. Cash Bill.
Naked people are totally zen because naked people spend less time on insurance admin and more time meditating and balancing their chakras. With Naked, you can cover your car, home, and stuff in seconds, and it's all online, so that means no long phone calls. Go to naked.insure now, get a car insurance quote in 90 seconds, and start meditating like naked people. Naked Financial Technology is an authorized FSP. Get naked.
702.
WhatsApp Bongani on 072
702 1702.
Good morning, Bongani and team. It's Max here. Bongani, you're complaining of a week, 1 week with the transformer issue. We have 4 good months. 4 good months, Bongani, without electricity. Because our transformer was blown. They've changed our meters. Right now, the meters can't sync with the transformer. It's a disaster, Bongani. So you should be grateful. It only took a week. For us, it took 4 months. Ki South Africa, elidula kote.
Good morning, Bongani. You're talking to Imelda in Centurion. Myself, because our electricity is so expensive, the pap person in it, I cook pap in the microwave pots. And that pap, it takes 10 minutes. You cook with boiling water, 5 minutes, and then you stir it and you put it back 5 minutes, and the pap is done. It's because most of the time I'm only with my grandson or with my son, either the 3 of us. So I don't use electricity to cook pap, but it takes a lot of electricity. Good morning. Have a lovely day.
Microwave pap. Wow. Amo, how good is your pap making?
I'm really good at making pap.
Can you imagine microwave pap?
I cannot.
Clearly, it's a thing. It's clearly a thing. Ray White is in for Muteo Haripe, and he was asking, what would you like for Christmas? That's certainly something we're still asking you. I would have, because they're written special.
Yeah.
But apparently you call them, what do they call them?
Samba.
Sambas. These are these Adidas sneakers.
Yeah.
That's what I want for Christmas. I'm crossing my fingers. I'm going to get Sambas. What would you like for Christmas? Let us know. Certainly, one staple of Christmas is, of course, the How to Ruin Love movies. A little later on, we're going to be speaking to the lead actor of the latest installment, How to Ruin Love, the Lobola. It's always about these messy, complicated love stories, and there's a new one out on the 19th of December.
What do you mean you can't bring the cows? It's a family.
Okay, so this is where our art will be, right?
Yes, only better. Picture white flowers and candles. And the Netflix wedding special.
This is about us.
And over 190 countries. This is Netflix, babe. You have to give the people what they want.
I definitely can't afford this wedding.
11 cows. We want all the drama. 2 families at war.
Those are my cows.
They won't happen until Baba Zanaba. Barikisha ngwetsi ya rena ka tsela ya rena ka setso tsa bo rena. Nina bomaye bokazi.
Little later, we'll be speaking to Bohang Moeko, one of the lead actors in How to Ruin Love, Lobola version. That's the new film out.
702
702. What's gone viral?
with Kabazela.
He is feeling a little better and able to tell us what's gone viral. This is probably the best time of the year to do this feature, Kabazela, because there's so much content as people prepare for Christmas and the holidays, and it's that silly season. So you don't have a lack of videos, I would guess. So let's start with their home.
Yeah, good morning to you, Belle, and to our 702 family. So, I mean, if you are a parent who has gone through the different stages of your children's growth, so from baby to toddler to preteen, teens, and then young adults, so to speak, which one would you say is the most challenging or stage that gives you the most anxiety? And I would probably say for some parents, it would be the stage when they start going out, where they get a little bit of independence, and now they're going out with friends who, you know, if you're going out via Ubers, or you're going out because one of them are fortunate enough to have their own car, all those kind of things, right? And they start having the, in inverted commas, jolling days. And you as the parent then, you know, you say, okay, your curfew is 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, whatever it may be. And then you decide, okay, what do you do as a parent? Do you wait up until they arrive safely home? Do you go to bed and attempt to sleep, but maybe you don't because you're so nervous and anxious waiting for them to come home? So I think it must be a very difficult stage to deal with as a parent, right? And one woman posted on TikTok, she said, there's no better sound to a parent of teenagers than when you hear them come in for the night and you are thankful they are home safe in their own beds. That is when you can finally close your eyes and go to sleep. And so many parents have come on this video and obviously commented about the anxieties that they used to go through when their kids went out and were out on their own, and those jolling days. And you know, I think about back when I was a youngster doing this. I mean, my mom would wait up every single night. And if she was in bed, I'd still have to go to the bedroom and give her a kiss hello and say, hi, I'm home. Hopefully hold the smell of booze. But I'm sure she picked it up all the time. But these days, a lot of parents have got this thing called 360 app. So they're tracking where they are all the time on their phones and checking the routes they're going on, where they've parked, etc., etc. So if you're in that stage now, you went through that stage, how did you used to deal with it? What was the biggest sort of anxiety you had with it? And can you remember as a youngster when you used to come home, which parent was always awake? Was it the mom? Was it your dad? Or did they just go to bed and wait for you to arrive and maybe knock on the door and say I'm home? What was that like for you when you were growing up?
What? That's what's gone viral with Kabazela.
702 feedback
with Siamtanda Matiso.
When were you first allowed to be out on your own with friends, Siamtanda? And was
Honestly,
your mom a nervous mom around you going out?
Honestly, I think on my 21st, I deserve a Lamborghini because I was such a good kid. I never went out. The time to come home at home was 6 o'clock. So I was like, there's nothing fun before that. Because I had to be home at 6.
Yeah.
Or else the gate was closed, the door was locked. So it was one
Were
of
you ever
those.
late?
My mom never. Because it's like I have to be on time or else I would be in trouble. So I kept that time. But funny thing, I was telling Muteo and Karabo, I think long time ago, that I think I've held that time. Being late, I'm still nervous that I might get in trouble when I'm late at night.
So here you are, fully adult, living on your own.
But I'm
you must
still
be home by 6.
home by 6. I'm like, I need to be home early. Something's going to happen here. I'm going to be in trouble.
What other feedback do you have?
Reaction to NPA head Shamila Botoy, who walked out of the Gabinda inquiry on Monday. Many felt she showed lack of respect to the panel in the inquiry. Some noted that this might have consequences, and they should be consequences. And some are saying this just showed her lack of leadership. It's a movie. It was a movie on Monday.
I kept thinking, because this comes days into a cross-examination.
Mm-hmm.
And at the start, you all remember how we reacted with confusion, really, because we just thought, surely she couldn't be that bad.
Yeah, but others
and
are
then it just kept going on and it just went from bad to worse.
Yeah, because some are saying this became like her inquiry. So they're arguing for her and saying, I understand why she stopped, because it became a Shamila Batoy inquiry more than an Andrew. Yeah.
And you can look at why the National Prosecuting Authority hasn't exactly shot the lights out, has it? She's due to leave in any case by the end of January, but goodness me, what a way to go.
Yeah.
What a way to spoil whatever legacy she had. More of your reactions to that, and as I say, in this next hour, we'll tell you about how to ruin love, a new edition of this Christmas series, if you will. I mean, it's a series of movies, right? A new installment that's coming up.
This is EWN.
South Africans react to the murder of DJ Wallace, and a foul smell prompts the discovery of 2 bodies in Mpumalanga. Good morning, I'm Sfiso Zulu. There's widespread public condemnation of gun violence in the country following the murder of Warwick Stock, known as DJ Wallace. 3 men yesterday shot the former radio presenter at a building in the Johannesburg CBD. Stock had apparently been meeting with the owner of the property not too long before he was killed. He owned a security company and was reportedly involved in attempts to reclaim hijacked buildings in the city centre. Action SA leader Herman Mashaba is among the many voices that have condemned the murder.
If the thugs behind the assassination believe they have stopped the fight to reclaim Johannesburg inner city, they are gravely mistaken. All they've done is make it clear to patriotic, law-abiding citizens that we must step up and fight back.
The bodies of 2 women have been found under mysterious circumstances in Mpumalanga. Neighbors in Gamagugu near Mbombela say they contacted police after a foul smell from a house in the area yesterday. Authorities from the Mbombela Disaster Management gained access to the locked property and discovered the body inside. The police's Jabun Dumbane says the house appears to have been ransacked.
The old woman was identified by her family as Miss Eunice Mahlodi, 64, whose body was found half naked. The second body was that of a 20-year-old Miss Eugenia Dineo Masuku. Masuku's body was found half naked in a bedroom, and both hands were tied with cable. It is suspected that she could have been strangled as cable was found around her neck.
President Cyril Ramaphosa has encouraged the former battle and war sites in KwaZulu-Natal to be used for economic development and tourism growth. Ramaphosa delivered the keynote address on Reconciliation Day at the Ngome Museum in Ngutu, northern KwaZulu-Natal. The area is known for the Battle of Blood River between the Zulu Kingdom and Afrikaners in 1838. Nhlanhla Mabaso reports.
The Day of Reconciliation in South Africa coincides with the deadly Battle of Ngome, better known as the Blood River War, where Zulu regiments went loggerheads with Afrikaners in December 1838. And nearly 200 years later, this day is now commemorated by both races after years of separate observations. President Cyril Ramaphosa, who has since praised the actual reconciliation among the two groups, says the battle site must be used for the benefit of the country's economy.
We must tackle stubbornly high youth unemployment in a different way. Young people should not have to cast their eyes to big cities for better opportunities. Jobs must be created in our rural towns and villages. This is a place that should attract travelers from near and far. It is the youth of this area who should be welcoming, accommodating, and feeding the visitors who come here.
Ramaphosa believes this will tackle poverty and unemployment in rural communities. Nhlanhla Mabaso, Eyewitness News, Ngutu.
And the first 15 people killed in a mass shooting at a beach in Australia have been laid to rest. Crowds gathered in Sydney this morning to grieve the rabbi killed during Sunday's attack on a Jewish festival in Bondi Beach. A funeral for another rabbi will be held later today. Authorities have labelled the attack carried out by Sajid Akram and his son Naveed an act of terrorism. Police are investigating whether the pair met with extremists in a visit to the Philippines weeks before the attack. 50-year-old Sajid Akram was killed by police, while his son is expected to face trial once he's released from hospital. Prime Minister Anthony Albanese says the attack has shaken Australia.
We will give whatever powers are necessary to our police forces, to our security and intelligence agencies arising from this act of terror, an act of anti-Semitism that we saw play out on Sunday night.
Gold is trading at $4,339.46 an ounce. The rand is at 16.75 to the dollar, 22.42 to the pound, 19.64 to the euro. Brent crude oil is at $59.77 a barrel.
And in the traffic, we've got an accident seen on the Marquand North heading towards Midrand. It's right near the Baklu interchange. It's causing delays from Marlborough Drive. And we still have got that one that was reported on the M1 North as well, near the Car Street exit, delays from Boysons Road.
And in your sport, the third Ashes test is fairly even on day one, with Australia now 282 for 7 in the final session. The Proteas men play India in the fourth T20 at 3:30 this afternoon. Yesterday, the women beat Ireland to wrap up a series win with one game to spare. And Bafana leaves for AFCON tonight. Yesterday, they beat Ghana 1-0 in a friendly.
A fine day in store for Gauteng, becoming cloudy later with scattered showers and thunder showers expected. The temperatures will peak at highs between 25 and 27 degrees. The top story in EWN this hour: there's widespread public condemnation of gun violence in the country following the murder of Warwick Stock, known as DJ Warris.
EWN, in touch, in tune, and independent. For the latest, visit ewn.co.za or download the EWN app.
This is Breakfast with Bongani Bingwa
on 702.
Let's walk the talk.
7 minutes after 8 o'clock. You ever feel like you have those weeks where it's just, no man, come on. Just this violence and these guns everywhere. DJ Warris, we understand, had 5 protection orders. This is what we understand now. And there's been widespread condemnation, of course, for the murder of DJ Warris. But I understand he had 5 protection orders. He had the security company that was trying to reclaim hijacked buildings in the inner city. And it would look like he was in the process of one of these, reclaiming hijacked buildings in the city center. Then this awful story of the director, Rob Reiner. It now looks like he was killed. He and his wife were killed by their own son. Just unbelievable. I played you a clip earlier of Michelle Obama saying they were due to have dinner with them that very evening. Hey? Have you been in a situation like that? You were planning to meet someone and the next thing you get a call and that's a dinner you're never going to have? Or you've just come back. A very good friend of mine was murdered after hosting a Christmas dinner in 2011.
Oh, no.
Just hours after we left. And I was supposed to have slept over at his house.
Oh, gosh.
It's unbelievable.
Oh, no.
To this day. Kabazela wants to know in what's gone viral. As a parent, how nervous were you when your teens started going out? Did you stay up until everybody was back? Are you that nervous parent? Or were you the teenager causing that nervousness on your parents?
Hi, good morning, Bongani and 702 listeners. Yeah, regarding children, the age that is problematic, I think it's when they start going out. I just experienced that yesterday. I had to sit up until 1 o'clock before my daughter came back. I only said, when I heard that car dropping her off. Really, yeah, it's stressful. It's very stressful, especially with our country, with the crime rate in our country. It's and GPV violence. It's totally. Yeah, so that stage of children, when they go out, that's the difficult time. Mjindi from Kagiso. Thank you.
More Bongi and Gabazela there. Man, I grew up in the 70s. I'm a 60s child, and there was no way for us in that time to go out at night. 6 o'clock at night, whether the sun was still out, you need to be inside the yard. But let me tell you, the most difficult growth stage is teens. That's when the hormones start pumping, the testosterone is running high, and then kids comes with their demands. They want gadgets, they want clothing. That is stressful, and kids don't even know sometimes what your financial circumstances is. So I would say for me, it's these teen years, 11 to 14. That's a difficult stage. So yeah, good luck with parents. Mine is all out of the house. I'm calm and I'm relaxed. Have a good job. Bye-bye.
Hi, Bongani and the team. I was a child in the 90s. I had extremely strict parents. So there was no going out. There was no taking a chance. My brother and I we just never even bothered to ask to go out anyway. So the only time I was free or we were free, my brother and I, is when we started varsity. Yeah, so that was our life. Thank you, Yolisa in the middle.
Even if it's a girl child or a boy child, you just get nervous, right? There's so much that could go wrong, but at the same time, you've got to let the children be free within reason. Very, very important to have conversations about safety, what to do if you're followed. I mean, we actually have these conversations about if you're in a mall and you suspect you're being followed, these are the things you need to do. This is guys. Dimakatso is in Protea Glen. You've got a what in your car?
Yo, good morning, Bongani and 702 Landers. I am traumatized. I've got, they say it's called rock rabbits or dassies in my car. I've got 2 of them in my car. On Saturday, we went to a function in Protea North, and my friend who stays in Xavier, Glen Vista, that area.
Yeah.
Apparently, they stay near rocky places, and they were staying in her car. So we slept there. In the morning, I drove my car to go buy Magwinyas, and then when we came back, I think my car was still warm. So those things moved from her car into my car, but we were not aware. So Sunday night, when I came home, I parked the car in the garage, and then I started.
You drove with them in the car?
Yes, I didn't know. Not knowing.
Oh,
so my
word.
bedroom is next to the garage, And then I heard noises, things falling. I woke up and I checked and there was nothing. And then I remembered the story because after I checked, the noise still came back. And I told my son, I asked him to drive the car out of the yard and put it outside. When he opened the engine, he literally ran away because he said he saw two eyes looking at him and he ran.
So
and we don't know this thing.
So what? They're underneath the bonnet.
They're underneath the bonnet. They go between. You see, on top of the car has got places where you can slide your hand. In between.
Yeah.
They between the body and let's say the car door.
They squeeze themselves there.
Exactly. I've taken my car to the car wash and asked them to clean the engine. Maybe they would come out. They didn't. Instead, they went deeper. Yesterday, I called the pest control. He came with a fumigation, drill or machine, and he fumed the whole garage. Nothing happened. We took it to a mechanic. They put the car up and they tried to make noise. They went between the car wheels. I am traumatized, guys. I don't know what to do. I called SW something, animal
welfare, SPCA.
Yeah, they told me they're on holiday. I cannot live with these things. I am traumatized and I'm staying in the location. Everybody doesn't know these things. Now they're going to label you as this person that does or witch or whatever. And I need to get these things out of the car. I can't sleep in the house. My car sleeps in the street, not even in the yard, in the street. In the morning, you wake up, there's feces, there's urine, there's what they come out of the car and then they go back.
Oh my goodness, Dimakazo, you've got a
me.
real problem. And listen, be very careful, hey? Dassies, as they are sometimes known, they will bite if they feel threatened. They do bite,
Yes.
and you don't want them to bite you because we can talk about rabies and all sorts of things, right?
Okay. Yes.
All right, so you want to know how to get rid of these dassies or these rock rabbits that they've hijacked your car.
They have, and it's traumatizing. I don't want to lie, it's traumatizing. I can't even stand near my car. It's parked outside, but I cannot even
All right.
come close to it.
Listen,
because
we're gonna
I'm
try
scared
and
myself.
we're gonna try and call our friends at the SPCA. There must be somebody who can help you in an emergency of this nature. We're gonna try and see what we can do for you. But if any 702 lander knows what Dimakazo can do, she has these unwelcome visitors in her home, 2 dassies in her car, and they're hiding under the engine. They're obviously not that big, are they, Dimakazo?
I haven't seen them. My son has seen them. Bongani, in my house, we are scared of a rat. Now imagine that thing.
Yeah.
We literally want to move and sell the house with the car and furniture and everything and just move and go stay somewhere. We don't know. I don't know where. I
All
called
right.
my insurance asking for help. They said they can't assist me.
Oh my goodness. All right.
They can only help me to
Yeah.
tow the car to the place where the specialist or whoever can take them out, but they can't help with taking them out or getting somebody to help me. So I am stuck.
All right.
I need assistance.
We'll call the SPCA, but if anybody has an idea of what Dimakazo must do give us a ring on 011 883 0702. There's always someone in 702 land who's got some solution. If we can help Dimakazo, she is out of her wits' end. She's at her wits' end, I should rather say. These dassies have invaded her car, and I just did a quick Google search here. They apparently have sharp, tusk-like incisors and will bite you quite savagely if they feel attacked. So perhaps not something, a layperson can deal with. There must be somebody who understands how to deal with these things. Let's see if we can help 702 Land.
Let's talk.
We're listening.
Good morning, Bongani. This is Kabela from Pretoria. I really get envious when I hear people speak about being allowed to go out at night. I grew up in the 70s and 80s, let alone at night. I wasn't allowed to go out during the day. I could only go to school and go to the youth club or church, and that was it.
In Park, yes, I was born in 1976. So going out, we used to only have to go and come back at 6, primarily because where I came from, I lived in Polokwane. We were, running away from the police. If you stayed out up until, after the lights come on, you could either be arrested or something like that. And that was the thing. So our parents were strict based on that, not because they were horrible. And with me as well, I think I remember when I was about 19, 20, 21, I was kidnapped by the police. And then that is one of the reasons that my parents were, so strict with, when you go out and when you come back. And this is Simon Relevant Park again. Thank you.
Hi, Kawase, Bongani. Naka half past 6 over here, the gate, Papa. If I carry the gate, they would lock up the gates at 6. Or when now a guy, I say, if you want to see your friends, you'll see your friends during the day. If you've got a girlfriend, you'll see them during the day.
Good morning, 702. My foot. As in African culture, when you go out, firstly you sneaked out, you sneak back in, or when you did go out, they will tell you, do not enter this house after 12 o'clock. You must stay where you are if you're going to come after 12. And you make sure that you're back home. Or else, some of us had police officers as fathers, and those bouts were never ones that we wanted to face the following day. Hamlet's and children.
Look, I hear all of that, and many of us grew up like that, and perhaps one must be careful with these things because you also want your kid to be able to come home even after a curfew if something has happened to prevent them from honoring your agreement. Do you know what I mean? You want to hear them out first. So I always say there's a little bit of caution. Morris has called us from Danefern. You know how to solve Dimakatso's problem?
Yes, Boggles. We had an issue about a year ago or so.
Yeah.
In our estate, we seem to have some dassies that have taken up home in our estate. And I started finding dassie poo in the engine bay of my wife's Honda CRV.
Yeah.
And a dassie had decided to make the engine bay his home. So what I did is I basically gave the engine a high-pressure spray. I then went to go to one of the spares places.
So, Morris, you sprayed it with what?
With water. So you just gave the engine a nice clean out with a high-pressure hose.
Okay.
Got rid of all the dusty poo. And then what I did is I bought a product by Liqui Moly, free advert there, called Rat Ban.
Okay.
So you actually got a spares place, and it's called Rat Ban. And then when the engine bay was dry, I sprayed the stuff all over the inside of the engine bay. And then what you do is you leave the vehicle parked outside for a night or two with the bonnet open.
Okay.
Because you're effectively, the Dassie's actually trying to make the engine bay, it's a shelter. So as soon as you take the shelter away, the Dassie will go away as well. But also this rat ban stuff, it works for rats and rodents, and they don't really like it. But you really give a good spray all over your engine bay. If it can't do any harm at all, it's designed to get rodents out of cars anyway.
But it won't kill them?
No, it won't kill them. It just chases them away.
All right. No, appreciate that. Rat ban, it's called.
Yeah, and effectively we got rid of the thing. It went and found, I don't know, a new home.
Hopefully
someone else's car. Yeah.
Wow. You live and learn, Morris. You live and learn. Thank you so much for that call.
Yeah.
Morris in Danefern. If you've just joined us, we had a caller earlier, Dimakatso, who is having an unlikely problem. Her car has been invaded by two Dassies, and she's tried everything to get rid of them, but nothing has worked so far. So, Dimakatso, apparently go get Rat Ban and spray it all over your engine. It will offend the two little Dassies, and they'll leave you alone.
EWN Traffic.
21 minutes after 8 o'clock. Who's driving in their car with two Dassies in the engine? Amo?
Hopefully the people not on the N1 North Bongani. We've got a major accident scene. It happened right near the Baklu interchange. Delays from Rivonia Road, so heading towards Midrand could be a bit problematic this morning. There's also queuing traffic, unfortunately, on the Mike 1 North due to another accident scene right near the Baklu interchange. Delays from Marlborough Drive while traveling in the Bedford View area. That accident we spoke about earlier has been cleared, but traffic remains a bit slow between the Geldenhuys interchange and the Kilulis interchange. City of Tshwane delays on the N1 South coming out of the Proof Plus interchange due to an accident right near Linwood Road. Please be on the lookout there. More updates coming up. Stay tuned.
There's more EWN on air, online, and on the EWN app.
702. The World View
with Adam Gilchrist.
Catch up now with news from elsewhere in the world. Adam, this Rob Reiner story, really quite shocking. But perhaps even more shocking is the response of the US president.
Yeah, who else would lay into somebody after their death
and somebody well respected in his industry, albeit they wouldn't have seen eye to eye on politics. Rob Reiner was a long-time critic of Donald Trump and his policies, and I'm sure Donald Trump is fair enough to be a critic of Rob Reiner's views on the world. But Rob Reiner has just been murdered. And as Donald Trump has told reporters after reports of his death and indeed his wife's death, he was very bad for our country. He says that Rob Reiner suffered Trump derangement syndrome, that essentially he's suggesting that the film, the film director was known to have driven people crazy by his raging obsession with me, is how Donald Trump put it. Now, those comments have been widely criticized, including by some prominent Republicans. That doesn't always seem to make an awful lot of difference. But there is a thing here about besmirching somebody. Of course, you can't defame somebody after they've died, but you can certainly besmirch them. And so to suggest that he was bad for America, a guy who directed The Princess Bride, A Few Good Men, Misery, When Harry Met Sally, this is Spinal Tap, Stand By Me, 3 of those films deemed so culturally important they're in the US Library of Congress, just seems a bit wide of the mark to me.
It's extraordinary because, it's one thing to disagree with somebody, perhaps to even dislike them, but to just go after them in this way when they're no longer here to speak for themselves is really just, it tells you about the class of man Donald Trump is. All right, let's talk now about Italy's amazing dinosaur mountain.
Yeah, and it's been there for 210 million years, but they've only just found these dinosaur footprints. Maybe geologically they've been more exposed. Maybe the weather's helped actually show them up. But you kind of wonder, were they all looking the other way in Italy? This is in a national park as well, not far from Milan. They found thousands of dinosaur footprints, which date back 210 plus million years. Some of them in parallel rows. There are clear traces of toes and claws. They believe them to be a prosauropod, a dinosaur that was about 10 meters long, a herbivore, but with really sharp claws so it could defend itself. And according to the paleontologist Cristiano Dal Sasso, this is an immense scientific treasure, and they're absolutely poring over these things, pardon the pun, to find out more about the dinosaurs. And they reckon they have found some new stuff that we kind of knew that dinosaurs might move herd-like. I remember that from Jurassic Park. But they also apparently were able to form defensive circles, according to, again, how these footprints are. It's an extraordinary thing to think that, 200 and something million years later, we're still discovering these things and still working out what they mean.
Now, this has to be the best boss in the world.
Okay, yeah. Benji Leslie. Obviously, apart from yours, Bongani.
Yes, of course. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
And mine, in case he's listening. So Benji Leslie, who is the founder of a management consultancy firm called Connect Management. And he decides that he will put to one side 10% of all profits to his staff in just simple awards. Now, this time of the year, he really goes for it. So his staff, 30, 40 strong, I think it is, something like that. They have already been taken on a supermarket sweep. Haven't you always wanted to do one of those? You're given a couple of minutes, let loose with a trolley in a supermarket, fill your trolley with whatever you like. In this case, they fill their trolleys and then donate it to charity. He also gives them a staff bonus every year. Okay, fine, lots of people do that. He also takes them on a 2-day break to a mansion, absolutely no work involved. It's just all food and drink and games, which perhaps aren't for everyone. And then the pièce de résistance, just in the past few days, pre-Christmas, he has a Santa Leslie incentive whereby his employee of the month and his salesperson of the month get to choose a grand prize. One has got an all-inclusive holiday to Barcelona. The other has chosen a Range Rover. He spends £100,000 on his staff at Christmas. We're talking, 2.5 million rand, more or less. I'm just giving a few bosses a few ideas there. Yeah, see if you can beat Santa Leslie.
Yeah, there we go. And we know our bosses love a challenge, don't they, Adam?
There we go.
We leave it there for today's Worldview.
EWN Business.
All right, Ray White in for Muteo Haripe. Let's talk about the price of oil. That's becoming a story, Ray.
It's a big story. US President Donald Trump has ordered a total blockade of all sanctioned oil tankers entering and leaving Venezuela. This is Washington's latest move to increase pressure on President Nicolas Maduro's government, targeting its main source of income. Now, the administration has moved thousands of troops and nearly a dozen US warships, including an aircraft carrier, to that region. Trump says the move is due to the theft of US assets, terrorism, he says, drug smuggling, and human trafficking. He has called the Venezuelan regime a foreign terrorist organization. In a statement, Venezuela's government says what it calls Trump's grotesque threat, that's what they're calling it. Brent crude, though, has now climbed by almost $1 overnight. It's now $59.87 and looks set to climb further, I'm afraid.
Yeah, it's a worry, that story. Is there much market activity at the moment? Because I think everyone is sort of just, we're heading towards the holidays, and can we just shut everything, actually?
Well, exactly. That's it. So in the broader market, stocks have drifted higher as investors mostly look past the long-awaited US non-farm payrolls report. That was the big news that was coming out, but let's be honest about it, nobody really cares at the moment. While jobs growth rebounded more than expected in the US for November, following its biggest drop in nearly 5 years for October, the unemployment rate rose to 4.6%, the highest in more than 4 years. But analysts say there's a lot of noise in the data, which was impacted by the government's record 43-day shutdown. To be honest with you, I think everybody just wants Christmas.
Absolutely. So talking then about all of that, what are your indicators telling you?
Well, the rand has kept its gains against the dollar and looks set, economists say, to end the year quite strong against the greenback. It's now 16.75. That's to the dollar.
My running joke with Muteo Haripe is that it will be at 16.52 by April.
That's very young.
Yes, there we go.
Really it is. Well, 16.75 so far. 22.42, that's the pound. The euro, 19.64. And gold is $4,335.97. That's your business news for now. More with Stephen Curtis this afternoon.
Thank you, Ray. Up next, of course, we're going to be speaking to Bohang Mweko about a new installment of How to Ruin Love, these Christmas movies that come out every year, and each time they've got a different theme. This year's release is all about the subject of lobola. Lead actor Bohang Mweko will be talking to us about that in this next hour. In the meantime, Sfisa Zulu, what you got?
Thanks, Bongani. Good morning. The Madlanga Commission will hand over its interim report to President Cyril Ramaphosa today. Only the final report will be made public. The inquiry was set up by President Ramaphosa earlier this year to investigate claims of corruption and interference in the criminal justice system. The process was prompted by allegations made by KwaZulu-Natal Police Commissioner Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi. The president has challenged false claims of genocide in South Africa during his annual reconciliation address, saying the country's detractors are deliberately overlooking scenes of unity and social cohesion. Speaking at Ngqutu in KwaZulu-Natal yesterday, Ramaphosa repeatedly highlighted the attendance of the Afrikaner cultural groups at the event, saying this year's commemoration was one of the best displays of a mixed culture. After a year of South Africa coming under increasing attack of misinformation campaign from the US that Afrikaners are being persecuted in the country, Ramaphosa has appealed for a combined commemoration in future, saying it would make the day more meaningful. Lindsay Dentlinker reports.
President Cyril Ramaphosa yesterday made special mention of the presence of Afrikaner cultural groups at the event under the leadership of the son of the former founder of the Afrikaner enclave, Oranje.
Professor Karel Boshoff's presence here talks to the absence of genocide. If there was genocide, he would not have come here.
Ramaphosa said there are those who are deliberately trying to paint a false picture of social cohesion and ignoring how younger generations are embracing their diversity.
They don't want to play all the social media clips we are seeing of young Afrikaners in veldskoens dancing to amapiano and white teenagers speaking fluent isiZulu with their friends.
The president has once again appealed to all community groups to attend the national dialogue to forge reconciliation. Lindsay Dentlinger, Eyewitness News.
Meanwhile, Tourism Minister Patricia de Lille says plans are in place to address safety concerns for tourists in major destinations this festive season. This follows travel advisories from several countries, including Canada and the US, warning their citizens about crime hotspots in South Africa. Domestic tourists have also not been spared from a spike in crime in parts of Cape Town and Johannesburg, especially during peak season. De Lille says additional security measures will be in place during the December break.
We regret the attack on any visitor, local or international. So what we have done is that the Department of Tourism, we made available about 202 tourism monitors to the Border Management Authority, but they are being deployed at various ports of entry. Last week we deployed 40 at OR Tambo. So safety is a concern for all of us.
And Brazil's Senate will begin debating a bill passed by the lower house of Congress that could slash the jail term of former President Jair Bolsonaro. This sparked nationwide protests over the weekend. 70-year-old Bolsonaro began serving a 27-year prison sentence last month after his conviction for a failed coup bid after his 2022 election loss. After months of jockeying by his supporters in Congress for some sort of amnesty, the lower house last week approved the bill that would significantly reduce sentences for several crimes, including a coup. Under current rules, Bolsonaro is expected to serve about 8 years of his sentence in effective incarceration. A fine day in store for Gauteng, becoming cloudy later with showers expected. The temperatures will peak at highs between 25 and 27 degrees.
And in the traffic, we've got delays on the N1 North in the Sunning Hill area. An accident reported there. Delays from Rivonia Road while travelling on the Mike 1 North. Another accident seen right near the Baklu interchange. It's slowing down traffic coming out of Marlborough Drive.
The top story this hour, the Madlanga Commission will hand over its interim report to President Cyril Ramaphosa today.
To celebrate 25 years of helping you live the Premier life, FNB Premier is giving you a chance to win a 14-day European tour experience and other cool monthly prizes. Open any FNB Premier account from September to 31 December 2025. Switch your salary, swipe or tap a minimum of 2,000 Rand per month for 3 months straight. Spend and win with FNB Premier. FNB, help changes everything. TCs and competition rules apply. FNB, a division of First Rand Bank Limited, an authorized financial services and credit provider.
Meet McDonald. He is the self-proclaimed king of homegrown veggies. You see, McDonald believes as long as he sprinkles the seeds, the veggies will grow. He even promised beetroot and carrots to the entire neighborhood. Now, abantu bazotini, when the neighbors are asking for their share, but not a single veggie has grown. Ah, booty, avoid the embarrassment. Make smarter decisions for your home. Visit Cash Build for quality gardening tools and seeds at the lowest prices. Cash Build.
At Checkers, we do more so you get extra this Christmas. With festive savings like Excella sunflower oil 2 litres, 2 for 129 Rand. And Clover cheddar or Gouda cheese 800 grams, 2 for 199 Rand. Plus, stand a chance to win your share of 7 million Rand in prizes. Simply buy any 3 qualifying products and swipe your extra savings card to enter. Valid until Sunday, only at Checkers Hyper. T&Cs apply.
The Money Show.
Weekday evenings at 6.
Some news from our wine industry. It looks like they've had good conditions over the period. They're expecting a strong harvest this year. Wandile Seklobo is chief economist at the Agricultural Business Chamber of South Africa.
Taste and quality, Stephen, when it comes to wine matters. And this time around, because we had these intense heat and nice rains at appropriate time, it turns out that the maturation of the grapes have actually been excellent and the volume of cores has been good.
The Money Show
on 702. Let's walk the talk.
The Money Show with Stephen Curtis is brought to you by ABSA CIB, accelerating infrastructure-led growth and economic resilience through the South African National Treasury's 11.8 billion Rand infrastructure and development finance bond. ABSA is an authorized FSP and registered credit provider.
702.
WhatsApp Bongani on 072
702 1702.
Hey, good morning, Bongani. I actually found this conversation going on with the listener having a dust in the engine. I once had the same experience. For me, just fast forward, what had happened is that at work, I think they had too much at work. where we were situated. And they got into a car, and I drove into the house. Late at night, I had things, and I got out, and here is this thing. So following day, I took it to the car wash. They sprayed, didn't want to come out, and I left the car outside on outside on the grass. Guess what? The following day, when I moved the car, the thing looks like it was dead. I don't know whether is it from shock or what, but yeah, they are very difficult to get out of an engine. Good luck to the listener.
Hi, Bongani. Oh, I'm so scared now of these dassies things. So I stay in Winchester Hills as well, and right next to a hill where there are dassies, they do come to the complex every now and then, and one of my cars is parked outside literally. So I'm a bit scared now about what had happened to the lady in Protea. But my advice to her would be to drive the car back to where the dassies came in, particularly just closer to the hill where they stay. They might possibly go out at night and never, return to her car, because I feel like they're scared of like a different environment. So obviously they're not going to be exposed in a different location, because they need to find their home, their way back home. So I suggest that she takes the car back to where it was, or closer to where they stay, or their home is, and yeah, possibly they'll eventually go out and leave her car alone.
Hi, Bongani. No, man, the lady mustn't chase those dassies away. They are so cute. That is an indication of good luck. They are bringing her luck. She must just watch out in the coming weeks or so. Trust me, those things are simply innocent, harmless, and very cute.
Good morning, Bongani. Please, for heaven's sake, do not let anybody harm those two dassies. They can be taken to the Cliffendale Nature Reserve here in Rudderpoort. There are other dassies there as well, and it's not far, I'm sure, from where that woman is. But please, they must not be harmed. Nicholas, Florida.
Look, as I said, we're trying to get a hold of our friends at the SPCA to see if they can help us with that situation. No luck yet, but also the rat ban, the advice that we got from, I think it was Morris, who's in Dainfern. He says it won't harm the dassies, but it will irritate them if you spray your vehicle with this thing called rat ban, and it's for all rodents. It doesn't kill them, but it just makes them go away. So that's a solution I think Dimakatso can also try as we try and get a hold of the SPCA. The problem with these things is, yes, they look furry and cute if you're somebody who's not scared of them, but they might be scared of you, see? And if they bite you, well, all sorts of things could then become a problem, including the possibility of something like rabies, as would be the case with any wild animal. So, no, I'm not advocating for their harm, but at the same time, Podi Makatso at her wit's end.
EWN Sport.
You live and learn. Hey, Cindy?
I've been, so I thought this was a Cape Town conversation because I only associate dassies with Table Mountain. Because the one time we went on holiday to Cape Town with a group of friends, we were walking on the top of the mountain, and there was this dassie that kept following us and like hissing and like, and we were like, what's wrong with this dassie? Only to get to the bottom, and one of the guys goes, oh, I had nuts in my pocket. So the dassie was following us because of the smell of these nuts in his pockets. Yeah, but they're not, I mean, they're cute. They are cute, but not when it wants something from you.
No, I mean, I think because I did a little Google search, apparently they've got these tusk-like incisors.
Yes.
So they really could do some harm.
Yes.
If they feel cornered, and I think that's the thing.
Yes.
They feel cornered, and so it's just one of those problems. You know, and shame the poor caller who phoned us. She was frustrated beyond. She says, I'm ready to sell this house.
Yeah.
I'm ready to sell this car. I just want these things gone.
Sure.
The worst is driving in the car not knowing that they're there. Do you know what I mean? When you find out later, I think, oh my goodness. Anyway, let's talk Ashes. The English are fighting back, eh?
Yeah, they are. They have. I mean, it was fairly even up until a while ago, and then Australia just took over. They're 321 for It's the final session of day one, and it's all thanks to Alex Carey, who eventually fell for 106. And then earlier, Usman Khawaja made 82. Khawaja was a late replacement for Steve Smith, who fell sick. Khawaja was left out of the first two tests, so that's definitely a performance of 82, reminding selectors of his quality. This afternoon, the Proteas men are playing India in the fourth T20, needing a win to avoid a series defeat. That starts at 3:30. Well, the Proteas women beat Ireland yesterday by 74 runs in the second ODI. They win the series, the game to spare. They posted a record 375 for 6, which included Wolfhardt's to 124 and Liss's 114. They had Ireland all out for 301. Leah Jones on debut taking 3 for 48. Danae van Niekerk, who contributed 88, says it's the bowlers who didn't step up.
Just the bowling, I think we need to sharpen up. I think, yes, we are short our senior bowlers, but yeah, I just think it was a bit disappointing. Both sides of the wicket, short, full. Wolfie couldn't quite set a field for the bowlers, and it makes it hard. And
the third and final ODI is this Friday at the Wanderers. Bafana leaves for AFCON tonight with their first match on Monday against Angola. Bafana beat Ghana 1-0 in a friendly yesterday and Bully with the second half goal. The squad played without 4 of their internationals. Coach Hugo Brosh says while it's frustrating, it's no excuse for a bad performance.
If you see teams like Cameroon, like Morocco, like Senegal, they are just started yesterday because of the players were not released by their clubs. So we can't complain, and we are already 1 week in training. The only thing, yes, is that there are not 4 players on which we could count. But I will never take that as an excuse if we shouldn't perform on AFCON.
In the Carabao Cup, Chelsea through to the semi-finals. Ganesha scoring twice in a 3-1 win over Cardiff City 3-1. Tonight, Manchester City host Brentford. Newcastle are hosting Fulham. PSG's Dembele has been named FIFA's Player of the Year. And in Formula 1, Portugal returns to the calendar in the 2027 and 2028 years. The race will be held at the Algarve International Circuit near Portimao. Cindy Paluta, Eyewitness News Sport.
EWN Traffic.
16 to 9. Let's catch up with the roads. Amo?
Well, Bongani, we've got delays. In fact, heavy traffic volumes on the Mark 1 North between Marlborough Drive and the Baklu interchange. That's due to an accident. The one that happened on the N1 North in Sunninghill has been cleared. Traffic is now flowing there. And if you are traveling on the M2 West towards Amalgam, do expect delays between the Crown interchange and the Main Reef Road. I'll have more updates coming up at the top of the hour. Stay tuned.
There's more EWN on air, online, and on the EWN app.
It's the most wonderful time of the year.
You're finally taking your long-awaited break.
You're going to see your family.
And you're saying goodbye for now
to your 9 to 5.
But you don't have to say goodbye to your favorite talk station. This festive season, 702 will keep playing your favorite songs,
having engaging conversations,
and keeping you entertained. So, make sure to sit back,
relax,
and walk the talk with us this festive season.
Download the Prime Media Plus app to make sure you don't miss a single conversation.
Happy holidays
from 702.
Business Outsurance are experts in business insurance for general practitioners, dentists, surgeons, and other medical specialists. Kuveni.
It's so nice to know the business risk is taken care of by Business Outsurance. The call center is just a dream to deal with. Very seamless, easy experience, and it just feels like the people we're talking to on the other line understand our needs.
Switch to Business Outsurance and you could get a massive 20% discount on your business insurance premium. Visit outsurance.co.za. Switch and save today. Licensed insurer and FSP. TCs and information online.
Cell C is now proudly listed on the JSE. You can say we put the C in JSE, the pinnacle of a 24-year game-changing history, giving South Africans affordable, reliable connectivity. We've adapted and perfected the ABCs, now ranked #1 in SA for video experience on 4G and joint #1 for network reliability.
Really?
C. Now nothing should stop you from being a part of the C. Speak to your broker. Cell C.
Who says everyday driving can't be très chic? Rent premium with Sani Sixt now. Own the stylish Citroen C3 later. Yes, that's 3 cars, 3 months, 3 chances to say ooh la la. Just book directly on sani.co.za. Call us or rent at any branch between 1 November and 31 January, and you're automatically entered into the draw. Bon voyage with Sani Sixt and win. T's and C's apply.
Coming up
on the Clement Manyatela Show
on 702.
Clement, already on holiday, is he? Talking to us from our Cape Town studios. Good morning to you. How's Cape Town?
Good morning. How you doing? It's okay. It's okay. The weather is beautiful today. I think it will be for the next couple of days. So we are blessed here in the country of the Cape.
Don't start. He's in Cape Town for one day. One day and already wants his own republic. What's on the show?
On the show today, we're going to start with the 702 open line. So we will reflect on, of course, it's so shocking and scary, Bongani, this murder of DJ Warras. And I just feel like, how are we going to fix things in this country if when we fix things that have been benefiting the criminal syndicates, then we become their target? Like if really this man, and of course the police will have to establish this, if really he was targeted for the work that his security company has done, then how do we even save the city of Johannesburg? Because it's going to require some tough action, not only from the security apparatus, but from the politicians as well. So we'll talk about that. We'll also have a conversation about Shamila Batohi, Advocate Shamila Batohi, and what happened at the Gabinda inquiry on Monday. You can say that again.
We thought we had seen it all.
Wow.
I shame.
And then at 10 o'clock, we're going to be in conversation with the Border Management Authority. The CEO is Dr. Mike Masiapato. How ready is the BMA for the festive season, given the anticipated surge in traveller volumes across some ports of entry? So that conversation between 10 and 11 o'clock. We'll talk about also the illegal entry attempts. I think about 8,000 have been intercepted so far. And then at 11 o'clock, we do our Listener's Choice feature. And today we're discussing scams and fraud to look out for this festive season. And we wrap up the show at 11:30 with the sharing space.
Clement Mangatela between 9 and 12.
Hi, I'm in grade 6 at Crawford International, and I'm already building my future. At Crawford, we don't just learn, we prepare for the world ahead. By grade 10, I can choose from a range of subjects in any combination. With experienced teachers, amazing extracurriculars, and AI-driven support, I'm set up to excel in everything, from maths to public speaking. Book your personalized tour. Crawford International, building global leaders.
Hi, this is Alia Itzebet, Hollywood Bets brand ambassador. A reminder that you can still shoot for the stars while playing responsibly. If you or someone you know needs help, call the South African Responsible Gambling toll-free counselling line on 0800 006 008 or WhatsApp help to 076 675 0710. Hollywood Sportsbook is a licensed betting operator. Hollywood Bet supports responsible gambling. No persons under the age of 18 years are permitted to gamble. Winners know when to stop.
You could spend 10 minutes waiting for the microwave to beep. Or get a 10-minute quote from Outsurance that could save you thousands on your car insurance. For his 2024 Suzuki Jimny, 55-year-old Stefan now pays only 611 Rand a month. And for her 2024 Kia Sonet, 31-year-old Palisa pays just 926 Rand a month. Ready to get more out of your car insurance? SMS out to 45142. That's out to 45142. Outsurance, licensed insurer and FSP. TCs and information online.
Let's talk.
We're listening.
Hi, it's Eleanor Mary from Crackle Park. Just wanted to say that with regard to the Dussies, what about friends of free wildlife? If you get hold of them, they're in Johannesburg, or Friends of the Wild. There's a hospital, even a Johannesburg hospital, rather than the SPCA, which probably won't know what to do. But the incisors you can keep away from if you are careful, and the Dussies do need to be rescued and restored to the wild.
Bongani, I disagree with this lady who just said take back the car to where the Dussies emerged from. No. What if more Dussies come into the engine? And they overwhelm the car, and come on, man. It can't be right. All right, thank you.
Look, we are still trying to get hold of different organizations that deal with this kind of thing. We likely will probably do it off air as soon as we can get the Magato assistance. So we definitely are on this Dussie problem, and we'll see what we can do.
This is Breakfast with Bongani Bingwa
on 702.
Let's walk the talk.
What do you mean you can't bring the cows? It's a family.
Okay, so this is where our art will be, right?
Yes, only better. Picture white flowers and candles. And the Netflix.
Alrighty, Joburg, it's that time of the year, is it not? Love is in the air, but so is chaos. Netflix is back with another installment of How to Ruin Love. This time it's all about lobola. Watch the messiest family negotiations this side of December. Cows, culture, all completely colliding with unfiltered aunties. And at the center of it all is a man who just can't catch a break. A character, Kagiso, played by one of South Africa's most watchable leading men, Bohang Moeko, who joins us now on the line. Bohang, congratulations once more. Another movie under your belt.
Good morning. Thank you so much. Thank you for having me. And yeah, thank you. It's such a blessing to be able to entertain audiences on our screens. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Look, it's not just How to Ruin Love, right? You've also got Love and Wine, another comedy soaked in charm and good fun.
That's correct. Yeah, Love and Wine came out, and I just got the news that we're number one in, I think, 21 countries, or top 10 in 21 countries.
Oh,
and
wow.
number one in, I think, Africa, or I'm not really sure of the numbers right now. I literally just looked at them before this call, but it's doing really, really well. And that's also another blessing. And it's great to be able to tell these stories. And also with Love and Wine, it's a different sort of character. So that was fun to play with.
All right, let's talk about How to Ruin Love, the Lobola edition. You essentially pick up from where the proposal left off, but more drama, more... in some ways, it feels like it's more personal this time around.
Yeah, exactly. Because now, we've seen the couple on How to Ruin Love go through the drama of the proposal and how that panned out, and now, it's the lobola. So now families are really involved. Now it's about, going through that journey and those negotiations. And, they've managed to overcome the obstacle that they overcame, with the proposal. And now they're faced with this deeply cultural and personal journey in front of them of, trying to get married and going through the lobola process and everything that entails, which is a beautiful thing, because I feel like a lot of people are going to be able to relate to this season.
And that's what I love about these movies, because one, if nothing else, what they do is through a platform like Netflix, they're able to tell a different story of South African life, dare I even say African life. And the picture that people may assume about us is, a lot of those myths are dispelled.
Yes, that's the beauty of these kind of films, these kind of series, because they literally give, like you said, a window into who we are as people, who we are as South Africans. And it's, like you said, it has a power to really dispel any myths that people might have. It also allows people to get a taste of our culture, our language, our music, and the way we are as people. You know what I mean? The beauty of South Africa, the beauty of our diversity in many ways. And How to Ruin Love does a fantastic job of that, because it literally, especially this new season, the Lobola, it shows how the joining of two different families who speak two different languages and are from two different cultures come together, and how that can look like.
Is Kagiso growing, do you think?
Definitely, yes. Definitely. I think after season 1 of How to Ruin Love, we do pick up from there, and he has grown and he has learned from some of his mistakes. And yet in this new season, the Lobola, we do see how he strives to marry this woman that he loves so much. And some parts are still difficult for him, and we see how certain decisions he takes land him in certain situations. Without giving too much away, we'll see a growth in him, but we'll also see some decisions and some repeated behavior, make its way into the season as well.
All right, Bohang, we've got a game we want to play with you. We always do this for a little bit of fun. You're racing against the clock. We got a number of questions for you, and you've got to answer them as quickly as possible. We'll keep the clock running for a little longer than 60 seconds, but we want you to answer these for fun, but as quickly as you can. Take a deep breath.
Okay.
All right, here we go. KG, start the clock. Are you a morning person or night owl?
Night owl.
Coffee, tea, or something stronger?
Coffee.
First thing you do when you wake up?
Read the Bible.
Not even go to the bathroom. Guilty pleasure song you can't resist?
Ooh, Pop That, Drake.
One word to describe your character, Kagiso, in the movie?
Chaotic.
Your go-to snack on set?
Chips.
Actor you'd love to have a scene with?
Leonardo DiCaprio.
Worst audition experience ever?
How many can I count? I don't even know what the movie was, but I did every single thing wrong. It was a local series back in the day.
One talent you wish your character had?
Good decision making.
Which character have you played that's most like you in real life?
Ooh, that is interesting. Wow. Probably Istunzi.
Okay.
Lebona Mabula Istunzi, yes.
One thing you'd steal from a movie set?
I did take my posters on Ring of Lies. I took my actual posters from set.
Celebrity crush growing up?
Growing up, I wanted Rihanna.
The weirdest advice a director ever gave you?
Be more angry. It didn't help.
Your spirit animal?
Lion.
Worst advice you've received as an actor?
Worst advice? Be more naked.
Best advice you've received as an actor?
Stillness is power.
Go to karaoke song?
Tokyo Drift. Was it? I wonder if you know how they live in Tokyo. I don't know what the name is, but it's that one.
That's fine. Listen, good luck for this movie. It comes out on the 19th, so in 2 days' time. On Friday, it'll come out on Netflix. The next installment of How to Ruin Love. And this time, it's all about Lobola. Bohang Moeko plays the lead character, Kagiso. If you've seen the others, you'll certainly enjoy this one. Good luck, and thank you so much for talking to us. Bohang Moeko there, talking to us from Cape Town.
702 podcasts are on 702.co.za.
Oh, and look at the time. It's 9 o'clock, and the Clement Manyatela show starts now.
This is EWN.
Good morning, I'm Sfiso Zulu. The charred bodies of two people have been recovered from an apartment. Good morning, I'm Sfiso Zulu. The charred bodies of two people have been recovered from an apartment in Alberton on the East Rand. Ekurhuleni Emergency Services say a fire broke out in the unit in the early hours of this morning. Authorities believe this could be a case of double suicide. EMS spokesperson Dickie McDonald says the matter is under investigation.
During the primary search and overall operations, the charred bodies of two occupants were tragically discovered in one of the two bedrooms. Both the individuals were declared dead by the Gauteng Emergency Service